Bonjour, everybody, and welcome to this live watch-along of Marine AFC from, Sunday morning or wherever they're from, and Tottenham Hotspur, the second best team in North London. I'm joined with Stephen Buck, our resident Spurs fan. How are you, Buckster?
I'm doing very well, mate. I've noticed that you happened to pull on an Arsenal shirt.
It was the first thing I put on this morning.
Of course it was. Yeah, of course
it was. Hey, look, I'll wear the shirt on the show when we lose. I'll wear it when we win. So it's not like whatever. But we're both going to be in the fourth round anyway. I can't see any reason how and why Marine are going to win this game. They're just showing their route to the third round, and this is their seventh game here. They beat Havant and Waterlooville in the last round after extra time. They won on penalties against Colchester. So are they going to do it in normal time today?
I think I'm expecting to be all over in normal time today, but I can't see anything other than a Spurs win. And that's not disrespecting them, but we are talking about part-timers. You talk about a binman playing against a Premier League side. And it's a fantastic story what they got, and it's absolutely brilliant what's been going on behind the scenes leading up to this game. But I cannot see anything other than a Spurs win.
Definitely. Now you can follow us on all social media platforms, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch, of course, at Two Up Top Football on all social media platforms. And did you know if you put Two Up Top into Google, our name comes up first? Well, now you do. I've got some lineups here. I haven't put them on the screen this time, and the reason why is because I like to put the names on the screen with the pictures of everybody and things like that, but I haven't got any pictures of anybody from Marine, and there isn't actually a way of manipulating that on the program that I use. So I will go through the starting lineup. I do believe it is a 4-4-2. So we've got Passant in goal, Bailey Passant. Don't know anything about these players, by the way. I would love to do more research on these, but it's just not feasible. A back four of what appears of Joyce, Miley, Hughes, and Solomon Davies. I'll come back to him in a couple of moments. A midfield of Hermani, Raven, Barragan, and Kegney. And then up front is Jay Devine and Niall Cummins, who's the skipper. For Tottenham, they've got a slightly changed lineup, but still quite a strong team. And their lineup is Joe Hart in goal, who appears to be the cup goalkeeper now. A back four, what appears of Doherty, Rodon, Alderweireld and Ben Davies. A midfield of Dele Alli, Musa Sissoko, Harvey White and Gelson Fernandez. And then it looks like Lucas Moura, is going to be supporting Carlos Vinicius. Now, the reason why I wanted to highlight Josh Solomon Davies is because we have a mutual friend with this guy. And this is Dylan Murphy's pal.
Oh, is it now?
Yes, it is. Dylan Murphy used to do a few shows with us. So, yeah.
Is this the guy that he was having? He did a little one-to-one interview on him the other day, didn't he? And he was in a crushed velvet high-back chair.
Oh, is it actually? Oh, Dylan, if you're watching along with us at the moment, can you make us aware of that? That would be wonderful if you could. As always, we do get asked, will we be showing the live match? Now, if you would like to pay us millions and millions of pounds to avoid any copyright infringements, then we will show the match. But until that moment, you will have to find this on the iPlayer. And if you are watching from abroad, you will need to download a VPN or something and then be able to get onto the BBC iPlayer. It's worldwide. So no, we can't make the live match, but we'll be telling you all about it as the game continues via social media, Two Up Top Football, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, etc., etc. But Tottenham are, they were cruising for a bit. They're not doing so well at the moment. This is a tournament that they need to win. I know they're in the League Cup final, a proper cup. That you guys are akin to. Well, it's been 13 years, but
even longer for this. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. 1991, when Buck was a mere what were you? But 1991, 36.
No, I'd have been. How old would I have been? Nine. By the way, 1991, I was actually at the semi-final against Arsenal.
Yeah, I know.
was.
I've heard this story before.
I was.
Indeed. That's a madness. Just seeing the lineups on the screen. Looks like they're actually going with the back five now. I think Raven might be doing some sort of movement in between, like the Matthias Sammer sort of thing. Going with the Marine 3, Spurs 1. Without their big players.
I wonder what have they been drinking? I'll have some of that.
An easy Marine win today. It's the banter. The absolute banter. If they even if they score a goal, let alone if they
let them score a goal. Let them score a goal. This is part of the magic of the FA Cup for me. It's what makes it such a good tournament, because you can get all those little kind of hiccups. You can get teams come from nowhere that we've never even heard of. Who's ever heard of Marine prior to the last 2 or 3 weeks?
I referee non-league football. Of course, I've heard of Marine.
That's different for you, though. You had a career. For the average fan, certainly for a fan that's in the top flight, Championship division, probably even League One, they've probably never even heard of Marine. They have got no idea that this is a team that's named after a pub. It's not even named after where they play. It's a pub.
Do love it. And the FA Cup is a glorious tournament. I wish more teams put a bit more respect on it. It is renowned around the world, and we do have Jessica who's watching from Korea. So bonjour, hello to you. Right then, what else have we got here? Come on, it's not the league. Come on, Marine. Hey, look, everybody wants Marine. I don't even think it's because it's Spurs,
No,
it's everyone in football. We all love a giant killing. That's the whole point of this tournament. It's loved by everyone. We want to see some special stuff happen. I love watching a Spurs fan cry. Can't wait for full time. I don't see it happening today. And this is a competition. I'm jealous of a rugby player. Wish I had tournaments like this. Yeah, there isn't really like an FA Cup as such. In many sports, is there, where you can play the team right from the bottom can make it all the way up to somewhere and try and make something of themselves. You don't really see it anywhere. It's a shame.
Yeah, but it is magic of the FA Cup, and as that guy quite rightly says, it's not. Even as a Spurs fan, do you know what? If we went out today and Marine made it through to another round, and you got to follow them through to another round,
of it. That's what would happen.
I wouldn't hear the end of it. But you know what? No one would really be that disrespectful to Marine to go and do it. We all love to see clubs like this come from nowhere and just progress and continue on with the FA Cup. Obviously, I'm going to say I desperately want Spurs to win. I'm always going to back my side. But you know what? Fair play to Marine, and this is the FA Cup. Anything.
I'm a bit defeatist at the moment, if I'm honest.
No,
I'm not going to lie.
No,
I think someone might be a little bit concerned about this game today.
No, I just secretly might like Marine. I love an underdog.
Co-founder to Top is on other duties today, but nice to see Leeds and Watford flourishing this weekend. You're damn right. I'll tell you what, right? There's no excuse for Leeds United. Leeds United, they aren't going to go down this season, so they should be taking this competition seriously. In my opinion, they should be putting everyone out. I don't want to hear about fixture congestion because it happens every damn year. Every year, the first weekend of the new year is FA Cup weekend. We know it already. So put the team out that you expect to go out and win the game. You completely underestimated Crawley Town today, and Crawley deservedly won the game 3-0. And after the watch along, we'll be doing a review of the third round proper, so we will be able to go into that game in a little bit more depth. And Ed, also part of the top fraternity as well, he expects a shock win for Tottenham today.
Well, I don't know where you go for that one. There's no shock. They will win. It will be in 90 minutes. They will win. But let's enjoy it.
It is a case of, it's not will they win, it's how many will they win by. And it sounds so disrespectful to Marine, because football is funny. It's a funny old game. Anything can happen. But yeah, I don't see how it's even feasible that Marine will do it. The only way anything will happen, which will come as a shock, is if Tottenham completely underestimate Marine, and they just have a level of complacency.
Yeah, and to be honest, there's enough teams that have come down to lower league sides and have done exactly that. But the lower league sides are not as bad as what everyone thinks. I mean, Jamie Vardy came from non-league. Your guy Ian Wright, he came from non-league. There's plenty of players that have come up through those non-league divisions and have gone on to have successful careers. So you cannot just turn up and think, do you know what? These are part-timers. We don't need to try. We don't need to put any effort into it. We don't need to bring any intensity because you will fail. So they've got to take it seriously. And I think Jose's been right in putting out a pretty strong lineup rather than being really quite disrespectful and just chucking in the under-23s. He's good that he's gone strong. He's good he's put international experienced footballers out there, and they should get the job done, providing they concentrate.
Yeah, definitely. Jack from the Armchair Pundits, and the Football Pundits, and the Armchair Pundits. It's a very small pitch, and it's thrown a few Premier League clubs off. This is something that has happened before. People like the Premier League sides and the Championship sides are so used to playing on a bigger pitch, playing more expansive football. So when you are playing on, a narrower pitch, the conditions can change as well. I just got some dinner on the way, which is lovely. The conditions are different. The pitch quality is not the same. It's not the same sort of pitch that you would play on in the top flight. So things have weirder things and stranger things have happened, but I can't see it. I can't see anything else other than that. Got some beef casserole here.
Beef casserole on a Sunday. Where is the roast? Where's the roast?
You can have roast any day of the week.
But it's Sunday roast. Where's the roast? What's with the casserole?
Okay, does that mean Toby Carvery could only be open on a Sunday?
No, it can every single day of the week. But I'm just.
Have you had a roast dinner today?
Casserole. Yeah.
Okay.
Mate, I even cooked it. What
roast did you have?
Chicken on this occasion. I got my two girls with me for this weekend, so they love it. They like chicken, so they did chicken. I did cheat a little bit though. I can't be bothered doing the whole kind of like boiling roast potato stuff and then sorting it all out. Nah, just buy the old frozen roast potatoes, bung them in, job done.
See, that's cheating.
It is cheating. It's cheating, but it means the roast dinner is done in half an hour, not in 2 hours.
I'd rather wait 2 hours and have it properly. You've frauded the whole roast fraternity.
2 hours of listening to the kids bang on and go, when's it ready? Are we there yet? No. Done. Half hour. Finished.
I'm a little bit disappointed that that Tottenham didn't take Harry Kane on the trip anyway, put him on the bench, because this is like the biggest day in the lives of all these Marine players in the team. Just bring him on in the last 5 minutes. You sort of did the same thing. What was it against Tranmere when you slapped him like 7-0 or whatever? And it got involved towards the end. I think they should have done that. I know Gareth Bale's on the bench, and that's still quite a big shout. But
I think it's different, though, isn't it? The whole stuff with COVID has made things far more difficult to go and do that. Would you really risk Son and Kane bringing them and not so much getting injured, but would you risk them in possibly picking up COVID? No.
Son's on the bench.
You wouldn't lose both. You wouldn't.
Tanganga's on the bench. I don't understand why Tanganga isn't starting this game. Does he not?
I don't understand why Tanganga. I like Tanganga.
I think he's brilliant.
He is. He's absolutely a great player. But I don't know what Mourinho's doing with him, because he come on when he first broke through on the scenes. He was a centre half.
Yeah.
Mourinho's then tried to sort of try him out at right back, and he had his debut. I think the debut was against Liverpool, and he played an absolute blinder. And in the last game, I think it was in the Premier League or in the last cup game, he actually came on as a central midfielder in place of Højbjerg. So I don't quite understand yet what Mourinho is trying to do with him. Is he trying to make him a defensive midfielder and that's the progression? Or has he gone back to, no, he's a defender, he's a right back? I don't follow.
Very true. Well, we are off. We are off and away. Marine 0, Tottenham 0. We played 30 seconds. They haven't scored yet. It's embarrassing. This is poor from Tottenham. They are on the attack, though.
He said it was a small pitch. How's it taken him 30 seconds to get out the other end?
Yeah, it's tiny.
It's only short pitch, right? There we go. I'm interested that they're playing with old Jedson Fernandez, because I've been trying to offload him back to Benfica.
Yeah, he's not really kicked on, has he?
No. He's been probably one of the biggest. It's right. It's harsh if we call him a flop. He has flopped in terms of what impact has he had at Tottenham, but actually the kid's still a kid. He's still really, really, really young. I don't really think he's had a chance. He's not played much football with us at all. But again, it was one of those. What do we get him for? Why do we take him on loan?
Yeah,
it's not doing anything good for his career either. Now he's been with the club for 12 months. I think he's got another 6 months on the loan deal to run before officially he could go back to Benfica. But it's not doing him any good. It might be doing Benfica some good financially, but it's not doing him any good. He needs his career back on track now.
Cotton's right. And it's not to be fun police, but literally hundreds of Marine fans on the streets outside the ground, not a mask in sight, and the police stood watching on. Not what we need right now, with people calling for football to be postponed. Now, it's so true. Like, you can't stop people from going into their back gardens and stuff. A lot of it, to be fair, is back gardens, people using their own back garden. And if it is only 2 or 3 people in each garden, I don't mind so much, because that's your household. Like, I'm sat in the kitchen. This is where I sort of set in my little studio. My missus is in the living room. I'm not going to go and put my mask on to go talk to her. So it's obviously been from the same house. But are people saying, oh, just come around my house and you can watch it from my garden, and then pretending to be that, and then not wearing masks and stuff? Do you know what I mean? Like, you already mentioned it as well, Buck, when it comes to don't want to risk Harry Kane, when it comes to COVID and stuff like that. So I think it should be policed a bit better.
It's got to be consistency, though, isn't it? 'Cause you've had the same thing in the news recently, where two women went off for a walk 4 or 5 miles from their home with a coffee in their hands, and they end up with a fine being slapped on them.
Class as a picnic, because they've got a free coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah.
And then Matt Hancock turns around and goes, "Oh yeah, I fully back the police decision." Now, but.
No.
Yeah, I mean, football. I don't want football to be cancelled again, and it doesn't look like the FA or the Premier League have actually got a contingency plan in place. There's a free kick here after 3.5 minutes. Jedson Fernandez has been felled. This free kick's quite central. Let's have a look at that again.
Oh, I don't think there's much in that.
Yeah, Adam Hughes with the tackle there. It's not the greatest tackle I've seen in the world, but it's not exactly terrible.
It's really not that bad. So, who's taking it? It looks like, is it Moira's going to look at it?
It's a White standing over it as well.
Can't do any worse than what old Dyer does on a regular basis.
Right, here we go. Who's having it? White steps up.
No, don't clear the wall.
Doesn't clear the wall, and there's even saved the corner as well. But yeah, what I don't like is the fact with the whole COVID thing and people standing around is that the cameras are quite happy to pan towards them and zoom in on people. Are they doing that as an example to like bait them up a little bit, or are they doing it to say, oh, look at all these lovely people in their gardens watching the game? But
how much of it is put on an opportunity? So I'll give you an example. So going back a few months to when we were out of the first lockdown. We were in the summer, and Boris had said, everyone can go to the beach, but you still got to keep your distance. I actually went to the beach and kept my distance until the point when 2 helicopters got landed either side of the same beach, and a boat got landed in the middle of it, and they squeezed a 1/4-mile section of people into an area probably the size of a football pitch. And that made the national press. BBC all over it, no one's social distancing, blah, 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 look at these scenes, etc., etc., etc. We were only in that position because they cordoned off such a significant area of that beach for 2 helicopters to go and land. So how much of it is engineered with opportunity and enforcement? The police could have let everyone off that beach in that instance. They didn't let a single person off. They closed it down and just went, no, you've all got to stay there.
Is this the opening goal? Oh no, it's a good save there. It's a Dele Alli strike, just on the edge of the box. That was crossed in, and it's gone straight at the goalkeeper. And I think he'll be really happy to have some early, comfortable touches with the ball right now.
Yeah, you need that just to settle into the game. And he looks quite a young keeper as well. So
He does.
Not to say that he's inexperienced, but certainly when you're young, just a few touches, get yourself settled in, get yourself used to the pace of the game, take away some of the, there's going to be a little bit of intimidation there, knowing the fact that you're coming up against players that you're watching on Sky Sports week in, week out, and just treat it as another game of football.
Yeah.
Jedson just running into trouble there. There's not a lot of intensity from Spurs, to be fair, is there? Like in these opening few minutes, I think it's still a little bit slow.
It's almost like there's a level of caginess around it. I was thinking, this is Marine. Like there's 163 league places between them.
Yeah, and what was it? 7 tiers of football?
Yeah, so 7 or 8 tier of football, aren't they? That's a great.
That was a good stop there from the keeper. Good punch.
Keeper's done all right with that.
Done his job. Can't ask. Like that's what you tell him. Come out, punch it or claim it, but come out and command it. He's done his job. I think this is the first ground that I've actually seen that's got 3 sides live on the TV. Don't think I've ever seen a 3-sided ground on the TV before.
So Bailey Passon is 20 years old, and that's the goalkeeper for Marine today.
Wow.
I'm just going to see if there's what history he's got. So he was on the books at Tranmere.
Okay. Which is pretty local up that way.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we got Tranmere, Everton, Liverpool, Wigan. Can't be that far.
Wigan-ish, yeah. Oh dear. So I just received some pictures of what's been going on in the streets in Marine. We're in the Marine area today in Merseyside. Now I'm gonna be putting these on the screen in a couple of moments. So I'm just gonna save them all. This is quite bad. I know it's the magic of the FA Cup, and I know that everyone wants to be happy and celebrate the fact that Tottenham Hotspur, one of the biggest clubs in the world, like whether I'll banter you lot off or not, but you're a giant club, and just some of these pictures are embarrassing. I'm really disappointed, actually.
Do you think it's all locals from what you can see, or do you think these are travelling fans?
It looks quite local. It looks quite local to me. I am.
Oh, this looks good. Oh,
oi! Is that deflected?
Lucas just
deflected over, isn't it?
Lucas is another one. I really like him as a player. I know he does give the ball away quite a lot, but actually, he's creative. He runs at players. He creates space for other players to move into. And okay, he's probably never, ever, ever going to do anything greater than what he did in the Champions League semi-final. He's more or less what he did. He single-handedly got Spurs through to that Champions League final, where they were then atrocious. But he doesn't seem to quite get a lot of regular starts anymore. I mean, Bergwijn's come in, and again, his work rate is phenomenal, Stephen Bergwijn.
Yeah, that's why.
And that's why. But it's such a shame because Lucas is a very, very good player. Certainly
more
of an impact player for the bench. Do you know what? I don't think I would start him in front of anyone, not in current form.
And that's exactly the reason why, isn't it?
But when you think of impact from the bench, last season, he was having more of an impact from the bench. This season, he's not having that same level of impact. And I just wonder what's going on. Is it a confidence thing? Is it a fitness thing? Is it a lack of match minutes? Is it something that that Mourinho is tactically telling him to go and do when he comes on, and that's why he's not having perhaps the creative influence when he comes off the bench? But he's such a good player. I really like him.
Me and Cotton talk about it quite a lot, but it's a case of if you're playing for a major club and they're happy to let you go, you ain't good enough. So otherwise, you still be there.
Yeah, I mean, there's that argument, but then there's a few that have gone to other clubs and they've still done it. Ibrahimovic.
Here's one of the pictures.
Okay, so that's pretty. They could be from the same house, mate. It could be a big house.
What about these? Like, are these from the same house?
That might not be from the same house.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So they should be doing a lot more. They should just think about, just do the right thing for themselves. And if you're one of those people that don't believe in COVID and that sort of stuff, then just do it for everyone else who does. Don't be a dick. Man, we played in excess of 10 minutes. And it's still 0-0. They're going to love this, Marine.
Yeah, 100%. And do you know what? I think the goalkeeper will be loving this now. He's had
to get themselves a corner or something.
Yeah. Mourinho doesn't look happy, but then he never does. Unless he's got a trophy in his hands, he's never happy.
Well, you got your chance for your League Cup, haven't you? Major trophy.
Or he's pruning his, bush with 3 fingers on the advert. Then he's always smiling, isn't he? I don't know. No, I mean, going back to those photographs, it's not good, is it? But then how much of the attitude do we see that, not just in there at the minute, that's just a photograph to show it, but how much do you see elsewhere? Yeah, even locally, we know people are losing. We know people are losing their lives. We also know that a vast majority of people are starting to lose their energy and the focus on it. People are getting slack. That whole thing that we're seeing now, I mean, we've certainly not hit the maximum number of infection rates or death rates. We haven't even come close to it yet because you're only just about seeing the build up to Christmas Day. You haven't seen the fallout of that yet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to get far worse before it gets better.
Yeah, but then if you're not being seen to do the right thing by it,
yeah, you've got to keep yourself safe. You have to keep yourself safe, and you have to keep your family safe.
Right, this is what I want to see right now: a deep free kick. Try and get some bodies forward. Try and make them think a little bit. So this free kick is from the left hand side. It's getting whipped in. Nice deep cross. That's unlucky, but also good defending as well.
I mean, it's still bouncing around. They're still putting pressure on.
Oh, that's a bit. Joe Hart gets a rare touch of the ball now. That was charged down nicely. That was Noel Cummins running onto that.
I'll tell you what, I was surprised with Joe Hart being signed as even under a free transfer, really. When we had Gazzaniga at the time, he'd had a reasonable run out when Hugo Lloris had that horrific injury with his elbow. But actually, when I've heard that the whole sort of pandemic thing and all the fans being away from the stadium, actually it allows you, when you listen into the games, to hear far more around the communication that's happening on the pitch and pitch side. And there's certainly a noticeable difference in communication and leadership coming from Joe Hart to what there was under Gazzaniga. He's far more vocal. And I can see now why he was brought in.
He has got that captain mentality. It's been spoken about loads of times by different managers and stuff. But the other thing, the reason why they looked to bring him in, I reckon, was for the English quota. You've got to have a certain amount of English players there. If you want to get in, you scored a 25 over the age of 21, you have to have 17, don't you? So,
and I think he's cheaper as well.
Sorry, you have to have 8. Sorry, and you can have 17 from anywhere, sort of thing. So,
yeah. And some of these, obviously, that we would class as British players, they don't come under that British quota anyway. Like Dyer doesn't because of his time in Portugal. Gareth Barrow doesn't because
Dyer does because he's got English parents. Well,
no, he doesn't come under the English. No, when we're going, I don't know if it's Europa League, but it might be the Europa League actually. He doesn't come under the English quota. He still counts as a foreign player.
Really?
Yeah,
he was born here, wasn't he?
He was born here, but his football education was in Portugal.
I didn't know that. Well, I knew that. I knew his football education was in Sporting, but in terms of the quota, I thought he would qualify as English.
No, it's something to do with. It's something to do with the fact that where your football education is done up to, I think it's 18 years of age, and he obviously was over over in Portugal. So he doesn't count. He counts us as a foreign player as far as we're concerned when we go into European competition.
Alex watching the show. He says he's just got in for a nice walk at Stonehouse Gardens. My first HelloFresh delivery was on the doorstep. What have I missed? No, what have I missed? Because I want to know what you ordered from HelloFresh.
Yeah, HelloFresh.
I friggin' love HelloFresh. We've had a few meals from there. And what makes you laugh is like when you open the package, you think, mate, that's not going to be enough for X amount of people. And it literally serves you bang on to the brim. Like it will say like, you need to use 8 grams of flour, and they literally put like 8 grams of flour in the thing. You think that's not going to be enough. And it always is. It's really good. But in terms of the game, Alex, what have you missed? Not a great deal. Tottenham, I think they're just having a nice little slow, relaxed, steady approach to the game. I don't know whether they're just trying to show a bit too much respect to Marine or not, but they're not really doing much. The goalkeeper Passon, he's 20 years old. He's had a couple of easy touches, but yeah, there's nothing. No one's set the world alight yet. If I'm honest,
no, it's very, very cagey. I mean, there's a little bit of a difference that's been noticed with Marine. They're not quite rushing into things and pressing quite as hard as they could, as they did at the very beginning of the match. But I think that's just because they've calmed down now. But it's just a bit cagey. There's not a massive amount of intensity. There's not really any chances. If I was Marine, I'd be really, really happy. If I was the Marine goalkeeper, I'd be absolutely delighted. I'd be nice and calm by now. You've had a few touches. You've had a couple of saves. Job done. That's time to settle the nerves down.
It just makes me laugh because Tottenham are just not used to being on the front foot in games anymore. So I think it's actually affecting them. No, I'm being serious.
It's a bit of a surprise to see us on the front foot.
Exactly. It's not something that you've done. Name me a time this season when you've played on the front foot. Because even that Man United game where you slapped them, you weren't playing on the front foot.
No, we were counter-attacking. But we've done that all season.
Exactly. So when you're playing against inferior opposition, you don't really know what to do. And that's sad.
I don't know. I think it's part. I mean, I haven't quite worked out what the full path of this Mourinho evolution that he's trying to put together at the minute. He's quite clearly trying to change their mentality down to say, actually, look, as long as you win the game, doesn't matter how you play in the game, you have to win. And that's a big noticeable change. You were getting that from the documentary that Amazon put on the series. It was all about you win as a team, you lose as a team. You find the little pockets of faults, even in a good, reasonable performance. And you go, well, no, it could always be improved. Here are the areas that we need to go and work at. And he was very, very vocal about how other teams, doesn't matter who you were playing, always had a chance to beat you. And that you needed to take things seriously.
Whoa,
shot from distance.
Oh, bloody hell, what a strike that is. Kengi. He's literally just thought, I'm having this. And he slapped it from, where's that? About 35 yards out? Where is he? Yeah, it's about 30 yards out. And he's hit the bar. Wow, that is
give that up before it had gone over, though. Let's just watch Joe Hart's reaction. Oh,
yeah, Joe Hart gave up on that.
Oh,
he weren't for sure, surely.
He can't have been that sure from
that. And then he tips it over the bar. It's a corner to Marine. Just coming up to the 20-minute mark. It's still 0-0.
Ball comes in. Joe Hart punching nice and confidently there.
I don't know about confidently, but do you know what? I'll go with you on that one. That's got to be handball, isn't it? No. It's gone out, almost went into someone's back garden. So someone just mentioned asking about fans. It's people's back gardens, mate. This is backed on. It reminds me of Chester United, like all the houses back onto the football pitch. And I was eating a beef casserole with some roast potatoes, but it didn't go down very well with Buck. And the reason why it didn't go down very well with Buck is because he believes that you should be eating a roast dinner on a Sunday.
On a Sunday?
Well, I have a roast dinner whatever day I like because I do what I want.
Rebel.
That's the joy of being Gav Mack.
Roast dinners every day of the week as far as Gav's concerned.
Roast dinner whenever I want. When I used to work in pubs and bars, I used to make a roast dinner at like 4 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday just because I could. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God. Just, mate,
well, I was working, mate. I don't know if Cotton's still watching, but he'll understand. He would have done the same sort of thing. He finishes work at 3 o'clock in the morning. He's going to be in at whatever o'clock. He's like, do you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to make myself, I don't know, I'll have steak at 5 in the morning. It's just the hours you do,
it sounds weird to me, but that's because I'm so used to now not working hours like that. I'm so used to just being up at a normal hour to what everyone else would class. So 4 o'clock in the morning is like, oh my God, I'm knackered, I haven't slept, or you're up stupidly early. I would never be cooking nothing.
4 o'clock in the morning used to be, well, that was the end of the shift. That was the equivalent of you finishing work at 4 in the afternoon. Yeah. So like I'd be like, oh, I'm going to go down to the casino, have a few pints, and I'll get home at 7 o'clock in the morning, which would be 7 o'clock in the evening, so to speak. You know, go to bed for a few hours and then get on with the rest of the day. Again. Yeah, exactly.
They just shown that replay. They just shown the replay of the Marine shot that hit the post, or hit the crossbar. Sorry, and I'll tell you what, there's a big old gap between Joe Hart deciding he's not going to put his hand to it.
Oh, it's giant.
And then going past him. It's a big gap. I'm not convinced. Yeah, I'm not convinced he was that confident. If it had been just a few inches lower, that'd have been a goal.
Bloody hell. Yeah, so yeah, you just mentioned again about the fans not behind the goal, but they're not really behind the stadium. It's a non-league ground. It's a non-league ground, you know. They've got fencing around it, but other than fencing,
there's nothing else,
you know. And the ones that are directly behind the goal, that Tottenham are attacking, that could be first teamers, that could be anywhere. I don't think they're actual fans. I think it looks like media as well. So that's the reason behind that, and no Freddos, no Freddos.
Dele Alli's been quiet, hasn't he? He's only just. I mean, he's on the ball now, but he's been very quiet. Oh, there we
go. Is this the goal?
Yes!
Ah, what's this?
Where's VAR?
Oh, it stands. Oh, boo!
Mate, boring game now in this ground.
We're over. It's boring now. Not interested. But as taking you 22 and a half minutes, 23 minutes.
It's a longer pitch than what we thought. It's not quite as short as what we thought it was.
I'm really disappointed right now. Is he offside? No, he's being.
I'm just looking. Ball comes through here. No, he's well onside.
Plenty on. He's made hard work out of that, and then he's ended up doing like a mad little skill move to jink the keeper. Because he's fluffed his line there.
He has. He's fluffed it himself.
That's why he slapped it in the back of the net like that to try and make up for it. Oh dear. Well,
ex-centre back.
Well, it is what it is. The floodgates, I don't think will open though. This is classic Tottenham now. This game will finish 1-0.
Are they going to start to go back to playing counter-attack and just go, yeah, come on, we'll give Mourinho the ball. We're just going to do a Mourinho and camp in our own half now.
Looks like it. Here they come. Here they come on the attack, Marine. They're able to whip it. Ooh. Ben Davis, Captain Fantastic for the day.
He always seems really quiet whenever he's been interviewed or whenever you've seen him on like the Amazon documentaries and stuff. And he never seems like a very leaderish type of person. Like he doesn't.
Yeah, I'll be giving the armband.
Feel that.
I'll be giving the armband to Toby today.
Toby, even Sissoko.
Nah, not Sissoko.
Yeah, I quite like Sissoko. Well, no, he's not a great footballer. But I like the fact that he works really hard.
Yeah, exactly. I like he's a good player because he works really, really hard. So let's get him a gold medal or something like that.
Yeah, let's give him a certificate.
Actually, dog Benny. Let's be real. He's not great.
Mate, He's got one of the longest contracts going. I think his contract runs out when he's like 412.
Probably.
I don't know
That's
how
what
he done
Spurs
it.
do, though. Spurs did that for ages. Oh, that's a hit or Jedson. But that's what Tottenham did for a period of time, didn't they? It's like, right, you're 2 years into a 5-year deal. We're gonna, I'll sign this.
But we've always been funny about giving long-term deals to anyone over 30. A bit like what Arsenal were a few years back. And I'm sure he was 31 or 32 when we gave him a 4-year contract.
Wow.
So, like, he's not Harry Kane. So he's not the top player. So what have we done giving him a long-term contract? I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe he's got some written clause in there that says, thou shalt stay this fit until you're at least 45.
To be fair, he's not someone who gets injured a lot, is he?
Not really. He's had a few knocks over the last couple of seasons.
But a knock, he'll be out for
major
won't he? He's never like, oh, it's this strain or whatever. He's going to be out for 3 months. None of that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So he's quite a consistent fixture. No, I don't think so either. He's a consistent fixture, and he's also, he also is a French international as well. So,
he's very Mourinho-esque, isn't he? He's like, if you're picking players that you go, that's a Mourinho player. Sissoko probably is it. So's Højbjerg, very Mourinho-like. Alderweireld, exactly like that. He likes a very tall, physical presence along that spine of the team, as he puts it. So very, very, very typical. Højbjerg, I love him.
Great player.
I think he's a great, great player. Proper leader. It's not what he does on the ball. You watch him off the ball. I'm sure me and Cotton have had a similar thing off and on. What he does off the ball is fantastic. And you can watch him literally pointing to players, telling them where they got to stand, where the ball needs to be played, where the next phase of play is going to move to. His communication is fantastic. I absolutely love Højbjerg. For me, he was the best signing that we made over this year. Without doubt.
No, it's one of the best signings to happen so far, in my opinion. He's been absolutely brilliant. And you should be very happy that you have him there. Very, very happy indeed.
Delighted with him, mate. Delighted with him.
Delighted.
It's got a bit of steel and a bit of character. I like it. Did you see the challenge that he went through the other day?
What, with Josh Da Silva?
Yeah, I was never having that was a deliberate thing ever.
No, it's lost his. It wasn't deliberate.
Yeah, he just slipped.
Yeah.
Okay, his studs were up, but he slipped.
He's lost his footing. I don't think there's anything major in that.
But he does seem to.
I'm sure he's at the books at Arsenal, so it might have been deliberate.
I think he might have been an ex-Arsenal player.
I think he was.
But it definitely wasn't deliberate. It was just lost his footing, the studs were up, accidental. Yeah, it's a nasty gash, but was it the right call taking him off to get the gash healed up, or did it take him off because he thought he was going to go out and lose his head and plough straight through him? Don't know, but it's the right call.
No, what he's done, he's just tried to do a little sort of like Cruyff Turney sort of thing. That's what he's tried to do, and just fluffed his lines a little bit. It's nothing.
Nothing wrong with it, mate.
World ain't going to end, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Nah.
So, oh dear, Vinicius. It's two. Oh, boring. Literally, both goals are on the line as well. So
keeper looks distraught.
Yeah, I would be as well. He's had a good game.
Yeah,
and it's not his fault.
I think that will come from a little Dele Alli flick through. The ball just comes over to here. He's Dele Alli, isn't it?
He's onside. I mean, like, you got to be there to score. Do you know what I mean? But like, come on, man.
It's coming from that right hand side again, though, isn't it? Like the ball comes through, and that right hand side seems to just switch off and not follow the runners in.
Ah, dear. Well, it's 2-0. Marine 0. Tottenham 2. Both goals from Vinicius Jr. He's having a good time. Oh, that's a free kick on the edge of the box there. Is he giving a card or anything? No. No card.
All right, who's going to have another round? Another go at this. Is it going to be Lucas this time? He looks like he's eyeing it up.
I think it will be.
It's really close. That's very close to try and get a ball to come up and down. Very central as well. Is he just going to try and go
Is
around
that
the
White
right
again
hand side of the wall?
it?
Oh!
Oh, that's a good hit. That is a good hit. Lucas Moura. Yeah, floodgates time. That is a good hit. I've got no arguments with that one.
Wow.
No arguments with that one whatsoever.
No.
Mourinho, I dare you to smile about it, though, mate. Come on.
He's never happy, mate.
Never happy.
Yeah, look, he's not tried to go up and down the wall. He's just tried to come around the side of it. And the defender just shuffled over slightly, and that's given him the gap.
He's done well with that one.
Yeah. Good goal. Won the foul. Took the free kick. Scored the goal. Can't ask more from that one.
And that's that then.
Yeah. What are they going to do second half? Surely Mourinho will then be swapping everyone around second half, protecting players and making sure no one pulls up and gets injuries.
I look at your bench and it's still relatively strong. I mean, I want to see Jack Clark. I want to see Alfie Devine or Devine, depending on how you pronounce it, wherever, depends where you're from. But everyone else is like a first teamer. Here comes, who's this now? That's I was going in. So, yeah, on your bench, Gazaniga is your backup keeper, of course. You've got Davinson Sanchez on the bench, Heung-min Son, Tanganga, who we spoke about earlier on in the game, Reguilon, Bale, and Ndombele as well. So you've done pretty well with that.
I don't think he'll risk any of the normal first teamers from that bench, with the exception possibly of Bale, because he's still working his way back from that little knock. So he might think, do you know what, going to give him 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes to try and get his fitness back up again and sort out his confidence issues, because he's not been the same. You have 2 years out of, 2 years pretty much of not playing football. It's going to take you a long while to get yourself back and sharp and get your confidence right again.
Yeah, but it's not like he was injured that whole time. Big up yourself, Diego. Greetings from Mexico. We are worldwide, of course. And you can follow us on all social media platforms at Total Top Football, at Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, etc., etc. It's not like he was injured through that whole time. It just wasn't fancied. But I feel that he wasn't doing enough anyway. He was still training. But like anytime you saw snaps and stuff of him, he didn't really seem to be doing a lot. He didn't seem to be working hard.
I think he'd switched off, mate. I think he probably had two or three moments where he goes, I should have done it, or I should have played, and he's been overlooked or told that he's not ready. And I think mentally he switched off completely. And you never ever, once your head goes, you will never train hard.
Square it. Go on, get on the end of that, son. Oh. Got a Marine. Marine fine there in the Spurs. Oh, let's hit the referee.
Even Michael Oliver trying to help out there.
I know, bless him.
At least
I don't know if you read his piece, the one that I shared on Facebook.
No, I haven't yet.
Very good piece. It's actually nice to hear a referee, an actively serving referee, being so frank and honest. Don't it's almost like they've got a gagging order most of the time. So that was James Joyce who had that shot there, and it was a good strike. It was just blocked there by Rodon.
So let's try and predict a little bit what Mourinho is probably going to do at half time here. So I think there are some youngsters on the bench that he may well want to bring on.
So I mean, there's only 2 kids that he's got, isn't they? So I'm a little bit.
So who would you pick? Well, I think he'll protect Alderweireld.
So bring on Tanganga or Sanchez. I'll probably see Tanganga more, but you can make 5 subs in this anyway. So
I think he'll protect Alderweireld. So that's almost a certainty. Maybe he'll protect Sissoko as well.
This is Mourinho that we're talking about as well, by the way. So he's probably not going to make any substitutions.
Nah, I think he'll make at least. I think he'll make 2. Because he'll say 3-0 is job done. And it's 4.
Oh, is it 4? Oh, that's a lovely hit. And that's his hat trick. Just on the turn of 37 minutes.
He'll say job done. That's it. Protect those that need to be protected now.
That is his hat trick. And that's a lovely strike.
I really feel for that keeper.
I don't think
so young. I hope he doesn't actually take it as a fault because he's not done anything wrong at all.
Mate, he's playing non-league football. I don't think he's going to have that much of an issue about it. But like, I think he's still got a level of pride.
No keeper likes to get beat though, especially if you're not from. I mean, and he's not done anything wrong, the keeper at all, is he? Like he really hasn't. He's gone the right direction. He's read the play. There's nothing that he could do about that. I don't think he was that far away. Look at where his hand goes. It's not. I mean, he's not that far from that.
I just don't think he's quite tall enough. I ain't gonna lie. That's what it looks like to me. He's just not. Just not quite. It's like 3 inches too short. I think his body shape as he was going for it was fine.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of protection. Mourinho will make some changes at halftime.
There has to be now. There has to be. Vinicius with a hat trick, a first half hat trick for Tottenham Hotspur. It is Marine 0, Tottenham 4. Vinicius with 2 goals on 24 and 30 minutes. Literally half a yard out. He's pretty much on the line. This is going to be 8 or 9 now, isn't it? Poor buggers. They don't deserve this.
I'm sure that's the guy that Dylan had on that crushed velvet high back chair. I'm almost certain it is. Where is Dylan when you need him?
I know, Dylan. If you are watching, let us know. Let us know. What's the crack? Is this the guy? Is this the guy?
I'm pretty sure it is. Almost certain.
I'm just going.
There's a little slip ball there.
This
Marina around the back of Davies.
Does he want himself a corner? No, it's gone for a goal kick.
Gone out for a goal kick.
Oh, that's a shame. Willie Mack is watching the show, very good friend of mine. Just going back to the whole COVID situation. It's like the fact that people are allowed to, they're being fined for sitting on park benches, but they're allowed to do this. I mean, they're just showing scenes on the telly right now of just people just like, I know some of them, as I said before, some of them are in their own back gardens and stuff, but it's like, are they inviting people in and things like that? It's just like, I just don't think it's a good precedent to set, especially the BBC putting it over on their airwaves and stuff. I don't know if they're highlighting it or whether they're using it as look at them, they're so sweet that they're doing this. Nah, it's not good.
No, it's not good. But as I say, it falls into the 2 camps for me. There's the camp that says as citizens we need to really sort of be taking some of the guidelines and the rules and really following them strictly, because it's the only way that we are not going to end up in a situation whereby thousands of people are going to needlessly get ill and die that don't need to. But then there's also the piece that goes, there needs to be a bit more common sense shown from those that are enforcing things, like that example that we said at the start of the show.
So the opportunity there for Doherty. Was it Doherty? No, he's the one who whipped it in. Who had the shot there? Oh, Doherty was offside. No, Doherty was offside. It's been squared across to, I couldn't see who that was in the middle of the park. But the linesman's flag, the assistant referee's flag, went up for offside, and it's a little bit of respite for Marine at the moment. On the plus side, Miss Congeniality 2 is on ITV2. It's a much better watch. Let's do it. Let's switch over. Let's switch at our time and let's do that one. Yes, you know it, son. You know it. We know what that means, but unfortunately, they're going to be in the fourth round draw alongside us, and we'll probably end up playing against each other. Because that's what happens, isn't it? That'll be the way. It'll be Arsenal v Spurs, Man United versus Man City. You know,
do you know what? That's the big thing.
Liverpool get Crawley.
All these empty stadiums. When you do get a derby draw out, like the United City game, it's not quite the same without the fans, is it?
No,
it really isn't the same. And I know the rivalries are not what they were, 20, 30 years ago. The rivalries are not the same. But without the fans, it really doesn't feel like the same derby atmosphere. It's such a shame. But yeah, what would you do? So they're giving out the vaccine at the minute. So there's talk amongst the clubs at the moment whereby they're going to say that potentially they might be able to open fans and let them back through the doors again, but they have to prove that they got a negative test and they have to have had the vaccine. Would you take a jab to ensure you could go and watch Arsenal play?
Personally, I ain't taken a jab yet. I'm not saying that I'm anti-vax. I'm not. I'd just rather see what the effects are so far. I know that they've done lots of research, and I know that there are different strains and things like that. But for me, at the moment, the real test is now when people are taking that first round of jabs.
Yep.
Let's see how they are. Let's see how they're feeling in 6 months' time. Put it this way, I've got hay fever and it affects me a lot. And over the years, I remember from when I was a teenager, I used to say, give me some stronger tablets or stuff. They would always band around the idea of having this particular jab. But you couldn't take the jab unless you hadn't been affected by hay fever at that point. As soon as you had been affected by it, then it was too late to have it. So you have to wait till the next year. And 1 year, I was like, I haven't had hay fever yet. I know it's going to be in soon. So I went to the doctors. I was like, I want the jab. They're taking it away because it was over the years of research, they've looked at it and it's like they've got, there was something in it that weakened the bones.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's just things like that. You don't know these sort of things for years. That probably went on for probably about a decade, So how you can have something ready to go inside a number of months, which on paper it looks good, but you don't know the effects that it's going to have on you personally going forward. So if I have to wait 5 years before I'll go watch the Arsenal because I don't want to take a jab yet, then that's fine. But I will take one, but just not right now. I don't think. I don't think
you're going to find out any of the effects for a long period of time anyway. And there was a lot of talk when the MMR vaccine first came out.
Yeah,
that over the long-term period of time that it was seen to be contributing towards autistic tendencies in children.
Oh, that's a foul, is it? No, he's played advantage. Is he coming back for the free kick? No, he's played the advantage. And I don't think there's a lot of time on that advantage. I think it's blown up for half time. There's no point of making everyone wait and stuff.
No, let him go.
It is half time. Marine 0, Tottenham 4 is the half time score. And Alex is like, It's hard time. NFL. Well, got to wait 15 minutes for that to kick off anyway. So that's frustrating. Yes. Right then. So what are you drinking there? Is that Guinness?
He's a Guinness.
Oh, good lad.
He's a Guinness. In a brains mug, I might add. So for anyone...
Oh, right. So you're kicking off at me for not having a roast dinner on a Sunday, and then you did the blasphemous thing of drinking something which isn't in the correct glass.
It's the only pint glass I got.
Oh, just drink it out of the can. Stop being...
No. Listen, if it was a bottle of lager, 100% I'd have it out of the bottle. When it comes
of course.
Guinness,
When it comes to that, and smooth,
you gotta let it settle.
And smooth. No, you get like the Guinness draft. Like that one's all right in the can. You can smash that in the can. That's no problem.
No, you gotta let the Guinness settle.
Mm.
But there we go. Right, so we're over in half time. I think there's going to be a few changes. Mourinho will go and protect some of those players now.
I expect any normal manager to do it, but once again, this is Jose Mourinho that we're talking about here. So, I won't be surprised if he...
At 4-0, he's not going to... The likelihood of any FA Cup upset when you're 4-0 up at half-time, even Spurs can't be that Spursy.
This is still Tottenham.
We can't.
This is still Tottenham Hotspur that we're talking about right now. So no, I can't see. I can't see much happening. So at the moment, along the bottom of the screen is the goal scorers from the first half. But I'm about to put the results and stuff of what we've seen so far already in the FA Cup over the last couple of days. All the games that are in this ticker feed are games that we will not be going into more depth on in the review show after this. So the scores are Boreham Wood 0, Millwall 2, Luton 1, Reading 0, Norwich 2, Coventry 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Cardiff 0, Blackburn 0, Doncaster 1, Exeter 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Bournemouth 4, Oldham 1, Stevenage 0, Swansea 2. Wycombe 4, Preston 1, Brentford 2, Middlesbrough 1, Huddersfield 2, Plymouth 3, Barnsley 2, Tranmere 0, Bristol City 2, Portsmouth 1, and Cheltenham 2, Mansfield 1, and that was a result after extra time. So those are the games that we won't be going into too much depth on in the review show directly after this. So if you didn't hear a team or your name being called out there, that is because we're going to be going into it after this game, where it is a Marine 0, Tottenham Hotspur 4. It took a while for Tottenham to get going in this game, but they look quite comfortable now, don't they?
It looks very comfortable. I think the first 10 minutes, it was really edgy. Marine certainly come in there and they were clearly excited and energized to go and play the game. But once that first goal went in, it was almost like, normal service as we thought it was going to be resumed. Tottenham dominating the vast majority of the possession, creating chances, Marine looking like they were, really being shown the difference in the gulf of what the number of tiers of football that there is between the two of them. But they've had a couple of little chances. They've got around the back of Ben Davies a couple of times. They've had some chances for him. I think it was a corner. So they've had opportunities.
Kegney hit the bar.
May not have been great, but they've had opportunities. And that bar hit, for me, Joe Hart's a lucky boy.
He completely misjudged the flight of that.
100% he misjudged that one. He thought that was sky high over, pulled out very early, and he's so lucky that didn't just dip just a few inches below. That had been off the bar and over the line, and he'd have looked like just a bit of a laughing stock, really.
Yeah. Definitely. I love the fact that Ian Wright has been rocking Baker Boy hats for time, and now everybody is trying to jump on the bandwagon, including Alan Shearer, who wore one yesterday, is wearing one today right now.
It's the biggest one I've ever seen, by the way, on Shearer. He's got a balloon on his head.
Well, they're sort of like oversized slightly anyway, aren't they? That's where they come round. I do love them, especially some Harris Tweed, Failsworth Baker Boy hats, which you could get from Montague Jeffrey in Northamptonshire, and you get them elsewhere as well, of course. I just love the fact that Ian Wright says, do you know what, screw it, I'm just going to wear a normal woolly hat. What are you going to do about it?
Superb free kick they were showing.
Yeah, just showing it again. I like that because it's out swinging. He's curling it away from the goalkeeper. You know, he's not really giving him much of a chance to do that. I don't think the keeper's going to be expecting him to be taking that.
No, I was looking at it thinking he was going to go to his right hand side. There was a much bigger gap really from the wall to the right hand post, but he's taken the shot and he's got it absolutely spot on.
Definitely. What have we got here? What do you think of there being a consolation goal? I can't see it.
No, I
can't see it. Tottenham are going to bore Marine into submission. That's the Tottenham way. That's the way they do things. But I would like to see Marine, you know, in the first 5-10 minutes of the second half, just go out there a little bit, try and get under the skin a little bit. And, you know, football's different nowadays. They're not going to go out there and try and chop people knee height and stuff. But I can see, I was wanting to see them just get a little bit more stuck in. Don't overcommit, but, you know, try and get yourself in there. Try and get a foot in there or something.
Do you know what? I'd like to see him score a goal. If nothing else, just to give them something to take away from the game. As part of that whole, we've played Premier side, we played Tottenham Hotspur. Do you know what? I scored against them. If you're that player that can walk away and go, I scored against the Premier side, he's got months, years of telling people at non-league that's what he's going to done. So I kind of want them to score to have something to take away from it.
Yeah. Can we visit the MRS point? I don't know what you're on about.
Are we referring to the images from earlier?
Is that for the jabs or from the jabs and stuff? Give us a little bit more insight. We'll go into whatever you like because we're here for a bit. So we'll turn it into a Q&A session. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we got another 45 minutes to kill yet of Mourinho football.
Yeah, of this. Yeah, right. Before we go,
we're going to be all right.
Might just chin it off now and do the review show right now. But now, anything you want to talk about, anyone who's watching via Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, whatever platform you're watching this on, whether you're watching it in Northampton, where we're from, or whether you're watching it in Mexico, as David is watching in Mexico, anything you want to chat about and go into, you know, let's have an old chit chat. This whole fixture is giving me FN21 vibes when you take control of 8th tier team and they're trying to get to the Premier League with that club. Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes.
FN21. I got back into that old football chairman app that you get on your phones.
I've still been smashing Champio 102 just because I just love old school stuff. You know, I love old players and all that sort of stuff. I might even go further back and get my old Champion 2 out as well. Start a new save for like Hanover 96 or something random.
See, I downloaded, what was it the other day I downloaded? Was it Streets of Rage 4?
Oh, Streets of Rage 4? 2 on the Mega Drive. What's it? Is it like brand new?
No, finished on 3 on the Mega Drive. There was 3 on the Mega Drive, and the 4th one is on the PS4. And honestly, it is like a throwback. That whole kind of retro vibe. A couple of new characters in it. Yes, it's a bit more kind of 3D-ish as it's moving, but it still predominantly kept it as a 2D multi-platform.
Oh, wow.
It's so good.
Okay.
So, you can win back the players from all the previous generations on this, so you can play them on the new game. But you have to clock things so many times and get so many points to go and do it. So you're rolling around the place with Axel from Streets of Rage 1 and Max from Streets of Rage 2. It's brilliant.
I love Streets of Rage.
It's a good
show. I used to absolutely love it.
It was 15 quid well spent, mate.
We're absolutely throwing back now. Will's coming out with Italian 90 on the Mega Drive. That would have been a Mega Drive or Master System then?
No, Mega Drive. I don't think the Master System had. It didn't really have any football games in Master System. I don't remember. I'm sure it was Mega Drive that kind of kicked it all.
Master System. I remember on my Master System, I had a game called California Games, and you had like footbag and stuff, and like yeah, you know, you got to like do kick ups with a footbag and all that sort of shit. It's quality. I used to love California Games, and then Outrun Europa. I loved that game as well. That was like one of the first. That was like the first like GTA style game that I'd ever seen. Yes. Oh right. Yeah. So when you were saying about
the MMR jab.
Stuff. Yeah.
MMR jab. So yeah, when it first started dealing out with the MMR jabs, they were allegedly linked to autism in the very first jabs that went out to everybody, and whether or not that would, what it was doing for those children in the long term. And that, for me, I didn't have MMR, despite me being a really old codger. And that was mostly because I'd had 2 out of those viruses already by the time they came out with an MMR vaccine. Both my kids have had an MMR vaccine since. And there hasn't been any proven link with MMR vaccines and autism, certainly since mine have been young. But there was allegations and links to it when it first came out.
Yeah, I mean, I that's what I mean. I'm not anti-vax. I'm not about that life, you know, but I just want things to have been researched a little bit more than they already have.
So I think it'd be researched. It's just we've not had the time to see any long-term effects of what this jab may or may not.
No, that's what I mean. And a lot of with the COVID jab, there's been, you know, it's not like people are just like sat there doing nothing and then all of a sudden go, oh, it's a new thing, right? Let's spend all this. They've been like, coronavirus has been around for a very, very, very long time. We're going decades, you know, centuries probably. You know, like the common cold is a variant of coronavirus. It's the strain of it which has turned out deadly. And yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
We've been fighting that for 100 years. So anyone that thinks you take a jab or you don't take a jab, or you get locked down and you breach lockdown, or you stick to lockdown and this goes away inside 6 months, it's not going to happen. It will calm down over time, but it's not going to go away. You're going to get new variants in the same way that we've already seen that there is, you know, there was a variant in Spain, there's a brand new one in the UK, there's another one in South Africa, there's the original Chinese element, there was one in Denmark that was linked to meat factories. This is going to continue because viruses evolve the same way that you guys do.
Hence why, you know, the common cold, like back in the day, when I was saying back in the day, I'm not talking about like 1984, I'm talking about back in the day, like centuries ago, that was a killer. Innit? You get a cold, that's it, you are done. You know,
Spanish flu, I think the Spanish flu back in
the Spanish flu
was like 1910,
the 1910s, yeah.
You know, that killed like 2 million people, and there wasn't that many people on the planet in the first place. Now there's way, way, way more than that. Our populace is significantly higher than what it was going back that far in history. However, I mean, my view at the minute is I am probably going to go and take the vaccine jab. Mainly because I'm in a bracket whereby I'm reasonably healthy. If I was in a 60+ bracket, I would definitely take the jab, because your risk of your health and the loss of life versus the risk of what your side effects may be in the long term is quite minimal. If I was in a category whereby I was very vulnerable, I would probably still go and have the jab, and I'd be in the front queue for it. Where I'm at the minute is, yes, I'm in the group whereby I should realistically, I'd get sick and I'd probably get better and I wouldn't really suffer too badly. For what I do as a job, and for the people that I'm around, and for what I enjoy doing as life, I will probably make that choice to have it earlier rather than later, and hope that any long-term side effects, because I'm quite healthy anyway and young, are not going to be, I say young loosely, are not going to be.
I don't want to hop on you on that one. If anyone's like wondering what Stephen Buck does for a job now, if you know, I don't see him be able to catch COVID because it's just OnlyFans, and you can text him on his OnlyFans account, which will be up on the screen in a couple of moments' time. Hola, alguno tiene el link para Viejo? Unfortunately, no. What you'll have to do is just get like a VPN or something, and look for BBC iPlayer. I can't help you with that one, unfortunately, but thank you very much for tuning in. Back on the game situation, Italian 90, was that on the Atari? Oh no, if it was the Atari, it would have been the Atari. It would have been an Atari Jaguar. Wasn't it? No, there was an Atari Jaguar which competed with the Mega Drive and SNES. It was the actual first 64-bit computer. It was actually there before the N64.
There we go. So the substitutions are on for Spurs, and we called it before the break. Alderweireld and Sissoko getting protected there, and Tanganga and Devine coming on in their place.
It came with the Mega Drive console. Wow, bam.
Really?
Love that. Excuse me, Sensible Soccer. Now, we have actually got a video of old school games that we did, didn't we? For our 5 midfield, our top 5 football games. And I didn't have Sensible Soccer in mind, but I think, did you have it in yours? Or did Deeks have it in his?
I don't think I had it. I think it was when Deeks was doing it. It wasn't me on the show that day.
Oh no, it wasn't you. Yeah, it was Deeks.
I think
Alex,
I was up a mountain
to...
in Scotland somewhere.
Is that what they call it now? Hey, Sonic. Right. I want to know which Sonic that you preferred, because like I loved Sonic 1 straight up. Mega Drive, Master System, built in. You know, when you literally start the game and you turn backwards straight away and go get yourself either 10 rings or an extra life. That's what I'm talking about.
Do you know what? My 2 favourite Sonics was Sonic 2, particularly the special levels.
Sonic 2
running through the tubes and going up like that.
Special levels are very strong. Very, very strong.
And I actually like Sonic Spinball.
Oh, well, no. I thought you were going to say Sonic and Knuckles. I
loved a bit of Sonic Spinball. Simple, addictive, retro-y kind of feel. I mean, we're talking about retro games now and that Sonic's retro, but bringing back pinball games, I think it was in the mid-90s. That was proper retro because pinball was almost dead. So it was a cool little game. I quite liked it. Really, really, really liked that game.
What else we got along here? What else have we got? Oh yes. So if you are bored of watching the football, you can still keep us on in the background and watch Miss Congeniality, because Sandra Bullock is fire in this film, according to Alpha One. What is that? Alpha 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's watching via Twitch? One of many things you can watch.
When is Sandra Bullock not fire?
Very fair point.
Ever look rough? Ever.
Very fair point. Probably when she wakes up in the morning. But even then, we still. Collins was sick as well. I did like Collins, but I preferred to stick to the Nintendo and go Tetris with that. Yeah,
Tetris all day. Tetris on the original Game Boy. Sitting there in the back. Yeah. I'm going back to some. We're going really old now. Sitting in the back of my mum's Nissan Micra, the original red-shaped Nissan Micra, playing Game Boy Tetris with one of them little 3D lamps lights. You used to click on the back of the Game Boy machine, come over like that with a screen that used to blow it up in the dark for you. That is one of my memories, coming back from my nan's house in Tottenham playing Game Boys on Tetris.
And this one that just nails absolutely everything. Sonic 1 had better beats. Damn right. Absolute bangs. Absolute bangs. Well, she isn't fire at the moment. The ad break's on, so there you go. Gravity was crap. Sandra Bullock. Talking about Sega games, because I was a Nintendo kid, but I did like a bit of Sega as well. I want to know if anyone out there, including yourself, has played Echo the Dolphin and gone past the first level.
No. Do you know what? I didn't even know there was a level. I turned Echo the Dolphin on, you swim around in the ocean a little bit and you go...
Yeah, and then you bounce off the wall and then you don't know where to go. And you can't go up or down and can't do anything. You can't get past it.
No.
Dead game, bro. Dead game.
Didn't get it. Didn't get it at all.
So anyone out there who has played Echo the Dolphin, if you could tell us how to get past the first level, that would be brilliant. Yes. I was still on Sandra Bullock flex here. Force of Nature wasn't a great one for her either, to be fair. Okay. I'm terrible with film anyway. I'll just see pictures and I'm like, oh yeah. I think I saw a video on the internet once. The game was graded as one of the hardest games ever. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I didn't get it. Old game. But I want to know if anyone as well also does remember, like me, California games, and if they remember Outrun Europa, because as I said, both those games they do take me to my childhood. They were both top quality games. Top quality.
No, I don't remember them. Not at all. I was firmly Mega Drive, and then I went to PlayStation 1. It was a big old jump. Skipped that whole Sega Mega Drive CD thing that they brought out and Dreamcast because that was awful.
I didn't see the point of the disc thing. I think they were just trying to be a little bit ahead of the game, and they weren't. They
It
weren't.
wasn't ready. It wasn't
No.
ready. It was rubbish. It was overpriced. It just wasn't good.
See, I'm on old school Nintendo, like my original NES. You know, like the square one, not the SNES, the
the
one
one with like
before the
Double
original.
Dragon and Turtles, isn't it?
Yeah, Double Dragon.
Double
Now we're
Dragon?
talking. Now we're talking
Right.
proper things right now.
Double Dragon, right? Double
Double
Dragon.
Dragon is one of the sickest games of all time. Swear
Yes.
to you, man.
And you know
Swear
what?
to you.
You can buy, or you can buy at Christmas. I don't know if you can still buy it now, but you could buy a little portable mini Double Dragon arcade with the joystick
Oh,
and the
better.
buttons. It was about 15.
Oh, mate.
Amazing.
Double Dragon is one of the most underrated games of all time. I swear to you. And then, and also, Turtles, man. Turtles was a banging game.
That was a good film. A good game as well. Do you know what the worst games I ever played on the Mega Drive? Power Rangers. That was absolute.
I never did play any of those sort of like, like the one in space. Only Turtles I will say is the one that was like based off a TV show or whatever that I got akin to. But like, because I loved it on Turtles, it's like you use Donatello, Leonardo, Raphael, or Michelangelo as your character, and then when you die, you don't die as such. You know, you've got all of your four characters. You get the next one. So it's like, well, which one do I like the least? You know,
kill him off first, save the best one to last. Yeah,
exactly. And to be fair, I would always use Raphael first, just because his little forky things. It's too small, isn't it?
Combat. Yeah, close combat.
Yeah, whereas like Leonardo and Donatello, man. Yeah, because he's boss. Do you know what I mean? Like with his big old pole.
Do you remember the fighting game of Turtles? I think that was Mega Drive as well, where you could play. I'm sure you could play as Shredder or Krang or any of the Turtles. It was literally like a man-on-man fighting game, Street Fighter style, but with turtle characters.
I never knew that. I never knew that. I never saw that one.
Special moves. It was amazing.
Sonic 2, the one with Knuckles, was good on the Dreamcast. The game with Shadow. See, right. I didn't have this, but my friend did, and I did quite like that one. To be fair. And which one was Sonic 3? Was it right, Will? I don't know if you're still watching. Was Sonic 3 the one with Emerald Hills or whatever it was? Like the zones. And like Will knows what I'm on about.
Wasn't that 1 and 2 had Emerald Hills?
Sonic 1. I don't think it was Sonic 1.
Maybe it was 2.
Oh.
There was definitely zones in Sonic 2. I remember Emerald Hills on something.
Alex, we'll keep you up to date with the score, mate. It's still 4-0. You crack on and watch Sandra. Do you know what? I've got my iPad here and I've got my phone. I might just watch.
Do it all
I might just watch it on my phone. Oh God. Emerald Hill Zone was on 2. Yeah, you know what I'm about because Marine needs to Emmys for the next game, and you will know what I'm on about, Will. Right. What we got here? Have you seen? Yes, we saw the cardboard
cutout. Yeah,
saw the cutout. Is it someone's garden? Someone's back garden. That's a nice little ball over by Mora, and who's on the end of that?
Vinicius.
So he's got the match ball. Chin him off, man. But the two players that I wanted to see that I've seen. So I wanted to see Devine or Devine, whichever one you want to go with, and Tanganga, who should have started the game anyway and deserves more game time. And I'll tell you what, if you ain't going to get any more game time, if you ain't guaranteed game time, get yourself on the loan list. He could go to anyone in the Premier League that is 7th and below and make a difference.
And he'll do a good job.
Yeah, and I think that with the right guidance, he has the ability to play for a top 4 club anywhere in the world. I'm not saying that he's world class. I'm saying he's got the ability to play amongst those teams. It would be someone who would start alongside a top defender. So, like, let's say if he was going to Liverpool, him and Van Dijk. Well, to be honest, me and Van Dijk could be a good back four. Yeah, he would be able to stand alongside Van Dijk, and they would do a brilliant job together. I really do. I think he has.
Let's all get ready.
everything.
Gareth Bale's put the golf clubs down.
Oh Christ!
And he's
There
just.
there is a golf course nearby, there, isn't there?
Well, I don't know if he's gone to warm up or if he's literally walking off to go and play golf. He's doing one or the other.
Marine FC. Right, where's the ground? Let's put it on the maps. I want to see.
Where's the nearest golf course? Can he
how
walk
close
to
the
it?
nearest golf course is? Marine Football Club. There it
Can he
is.
walk to it and socially distance from all the fans?
Right, so it's near Blundell Sands and Crosby Stadium. It's on Kirst. Waterloo Town Hall. Right, I'll tell you what. All right, direction. And then let's put golf course. Let's put golf course.
You're going to send him a Google map.
Waterloo. Yeah, it's half-hour drive. Allerton Manor is the nearest one. That's a half-hour drive.
Into the game.
Well, he probably went this afternoon. That's probably what the crack was. Probably went this afternoon.
Bless him.
How was the first 20 minutes of the game? The first 20 minutes, it was quite a cagey affair. Tottenham were on top, but Marine had an opportunity to score. No, exactly. I'm not saying Marine had stood a chance. It was just like, they were both just, it's almost like they were trying to feed each other out a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, first 20 minutes, Marine were, I think, making more of a nuisance with themselves. They certainly had a couple of little chances. Tottenham were not dominating by any means. It was probably maybe 60-40 possession. It wasn't massive. Whereas once that first goal went in, it really has looked like a Premier League side versus a non-league side. They've let them have the ball. They've let them pretty much do whatever they want. The closing down has been a lot slower. There's been very little press. It's just looked like a much more dominant.
It's almost like Spurs have got like 3 or 4 extra players on the pitch.
Yeah.
Just the way they press in and closing them down. They don't really stand much of a chance, bless them. But the first 20 minutes, they were part of the game. And the shot from Kengi is about 35 yards out. Left foot, it's just put his foot straight through it. And Joe Hart has been a bit complacent. That's exactly it. He's let it go over his head, and it's just smashed off the bar and bounced in the air.
I think it was 0-0 at that point as well, wasn't it?
It was 0-0. It was 0-0.
If that had gone in,
could be a different ball
very
game.
different game. Very different game. And it's a shame actually because it was a good solid strike. Really was a good solid strike. And as we said, Joe Hart 100%. He was off his line, put his hand up, and then took it away, thinking it was clean over the bar, and it wasn't clean over the bar. It struck the bar solidly. It didn't have to dip much for that to hit the underside of the bar and go in. Joe Hart
did a Joe Hart, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That's exactly what he did. Consolation goal, 5-1. Will, save your money, mate.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, mate.
I'd probably have a look at spreads if I were you, Will. I'm not talking about chocolate spread. I'm talking about spreads on the NFL because the NFL is on.
Knowing the Mourinho side, would you say potentially no more than one Tottenham goal this half?
Yeah, I can't see there being another goal in this half unless Bale comes on. Then he'll try and score, and then that'll be that. I mean, like we could do the review show right now if it weren't for having to start the game and restart the game and all that sort of stuff. Because we have to wait and do the review because we need to save the audio so we can stick it on Spotify. Because you can listen to us on Spotify and Apple Music and Caster and your major podcast provider as well as Google Play as well. So we're all over the place. You can't get enough of us. That's what it is. But it's Ravens Titans, man. That's a game and a half. I'm looking forward to getting involved in that good and proper. Absolutely. It's nothing in that game if you are concerned about that game.
Fans had he's had to climb up the old net in there.
Yeah, he's trying to climb onto the pitch.
I think he's trying to warm up.
Right, here comes Spurs. Oh my God, that ball that was played through to Dele Alli on any given day would be the most It would be such a nice ball for him to run onto. But the pitch, the quality of the pitch.
Oh,
It's slotted it. Oh, is that Rodon? It is. Is it?
Rodon? Or is it White? I think it's White. No, it's not.
No, it's not white.
Can't be Rodon. What's he doing at that far end of the pitch?
Move out the way, everybody. Get out the way, man.
I don't think it is Rodon. Like if it is, he's in nosebleed territory.
Oh, it's Devine. Devine.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. Fair play. I think that might be his debut as well.
Well struck on the inside.
I do love when the kids bag.
Mate, it's just nice seeing him come through for your club. It doesn't matter who you support. To see a kid come through from your youth ranks, I think you always feel a bit more, I don't know.
Well, it's one of your own, isn't they?
Yeah, it's one of yours. You want to give them a little bit more slack. You're not bothered whether or not they have a couple of bad games. You just instantly want to back them and get behind them.
Sometimes you do give them a little bit too much time, and I'll be going into it a little bit more in the review show later. But there's an Arsenal player who I've backed, and I love him. I love him because he's one of our own. But I think I'm giving him too much of an opportunity. I don't think he's stepping up or has stepped up.
Who are you thinking of then?
I'll go into it in the review show. It means people have to sit and wait. People have to wait and make sure they stay tuned after this game is finished. And then they'll be able to find out exactly what I'm talking about.
The difference for you boys recently has been that Emil Smith Rowe.
Oh, the Smith Rowe that I've been speaking about since show number 1. I'm saying that I saw him for the first time a year prior to that. That one. Oh, yeah. I love calling out a player and they stand out. Alex could back me on that as well. Alex, if he's still watching the show, he can vouch for that I called out Smith Rowe from day dot. I saw him in a I know it's pre-season friendly, but I saw him in a pre-season friendly against our Atletico Madrid, turning it on, and I was like, man, this kid don't give a fuck. So no, Smith Rowe has been brilliant so far this season. I'm so glad that he's getting some actual game time. So free kick on the edge of the box. But I was
tired now, Marine.
Yeah, they're knackered.
There's some knackered challenges going in where it's just a bit not deliberately fouling, but it's just clumsy and just a little bit late. They're feeling tired. I mean, that's a great example. It's not even really a proper challenge.
I do want to go back to someone. Someone did put a comment earlier on saying this is going to finish 8-0. No, I think it.
No,
I think it might be.
No, I can't see that.
Everyone's saying, oh, yes, we saw the Leeds game. And we will be talking about that later on as well. And I'm really excited about that because Leeds, honestly, fraudulent, man. Absolute fraudulent. Chipped free kick there. Tried to find the top corner as White, but it's gone over for a goal kick. And here come the next two. Here they come. So Gareth Bale will be featuring. He needs minutes anyway, don't he?
Oh, desperately.
So
I think you can read a lot into what Mourinho said about him. The whole thing of, he needs his confidence back. There's nothing wrong with his body; it's his mind. And I think that's all you need.
That happens a lot. That happens a lot with players that have done it. And here's the other lad that I wanted to see. I'm really glad he's getting some game time. Off comes Lucas, and here comes Clark.
He's another one that needs a loan spell. He really does. He needs some time to get proper first team minutes on the pitch. He had a couple of spells last year, and they've just not really worked out for him. I think he went over to QPR. He was hanging around Leeds after the buy after they bought him for 6 months or something. It just didn't really work. he's not really, when he's gone out the last couple of times, he's not really had the minutes under his belt that he needs to really develop the rest of his game. And he does. He needs a loan. He needs to go somewhere now where he knows he's going to be going in there. And there's, even if you have to stipulate the contract, but contract minutes that he has to play a set number of games and a set number of minutes every game, unless he's injured.
Yeah, it's a bit like, excuse me. I think the same with like Troy Parrott. I think Troy Parrott. He deserves that loan spell. And Ollie Skip. I'm annoyed that Ollie Skip's gone out on loan. I was really hoping that you're going to be able to play him a little bit more because I've got a lot of time for Ollie Skip. Another player. In fact, I called Ollie Skip out the same season that I called ESR out. Well, like, these two lads who are going to be doing stuff, and I saw a lot of. I was watching a lot of youth football, a lot of under-23 stuff, watching pre-seasons of many clubs, especially like the renowned top six, so to speak. During the pre-season, watching all of their stuff, thinking, right, okay, which of these kids are going to be coming through? Who can we look out for? That sort of stuff. But I'm just a little bit annoyed that some of the teams haven't been able to, like stand by what they've said and, giving the youth a chance and that sort of stuff. But it is what it is.
Yeah. And I think some of the times it can be down to players' attitude. It can be down to the shock of being a kid and coming up against, physically grown men and a very different level of football. I don't care whether you go to the Championship, League One, or the Prem. The standard between those three divisions and what would have been under 23s is a massive gap still.
Oh, yeah.
Training, pitch quality, the level of physicality, intensity, it's all completely different.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's good to see some of these kids coming through the ranks. You want them to do well. Because they're yours, as you say. It's one of your own.
It's one of your own.
What colour shirt you put on, it's one of your own kids, and you want them to succeed, even if they don't necessarily come through and be a success at your club. You still want them to go somewhere and have a successful career. You want to see them do well.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to try and reply to you. Who's that? Rosmath Vizanor. Yeah, sorry. I can't speak Spanish, so I'm using a translator. I hope that you will be able to understand what I'm saying here, because we can't show the streams of games. So my good old pal, who is Spanish speaker, isn't watching the show, so I can't even get her to comment.
I can translate part of that, but I only can translate to a point of him saying that he doesn't understand something.
Yeah. Right, I hope that makes sense to you. Who's watching there? So, keeper. That's the only mistake that is made there. So yeah, that's the best I can do. And I've tried. So hopefully. Wasn't says where you put sometimes Google come up first. You know it. Oh, you know it. So Titans are leading as well. So that means nothing right now, Alex. This game, I think, is going to end up like 40-37, but I don't know in favour of who yet. Battle will get injured, a player Marine, got to give it a backhander to take him down. Dude, I don't actually think anyone needs a backhander to take him down. He'll just get injured himself.
He's only got to try and run for the ball when he pulls a hamstring. But fortunately, he doesn't need a hamstring for his golf swing. So he's all right. He doesn't.
Exactly that. Lazy tackles orchestrated, ejected, ref blowed a whistle. Yeah, you know it, man.
No, Michael Oliver would blow in this at literally like 90 minutes on the dot. He's not going to run any extra time. He's just not.
Well, he didn't do it for the first half. There was 4 goals in the first half, which should constitute in 2 minutes of injury time, added time on. And he saw it on 45 and was like, right, let's get in, boys. Nothing doing here. So did he play well today? And is it true that Jose don't like him? Jose is. We all know that Jose's a gaffer that will just go out there and just make any player a scapegoat. You know, he's done it for. Look what he did with Luke Shaw in particular. You know, just dug him out hard, and it's like, man, Luke Shaw's all right. He's just got injuries and that.
He's done it all the while though. He's
done
always it first. Yeah, Ndombele.
Well, yeah, he did with Ndombele at the beginning of the season. Yeah, exactly. And now he's one of the first hands on the team sheet in a normal game, so to speak, as well. But
I think Dele Alli deliberately to test your mentality. When the pressure's on, are you going to come out fighting, or are you going to quit? I think that's what he does it.
Yeah. Dele Alli, did he play well? I don't think he did anything.
Didn't do anything wrong, but
didn't do anything right on the research. No, it's just
he had the assist for the goal.
Yeah, exactly. We're fishing now, aren't we? We're searching hard.
My issue with Dele is I don't think he works hard enough for the team.
He doesn't work hard enough in a Jose Mourinho team.
No. And I don't actually know where his best position is anymore. When Poch got the best out of him, he was actually playing almost as a shadow striker. The gap between him and Kane was very, very, very close. There wasn't this big separation. When he was put out wide and told to cut it in, again, it wasn't at his best. Yes, he scored a few goals. Yes, he got involved, but that's not his best. But we haven't seen anywhere near the Dele Alli, regardless of where he's played. Whether he's played up front, he's not been great. He's played as a shadow striker at times. Not really great.
The first few games of Mourinho's tenure, he was playing and he was looking all right at that point. But it's a player who's not being played in his right position, and I think his right position is in behind your main striker role. If we see him there, not many teams play that sort of system anymore, though. And this was it's happening at Chelsea. You know, it looks like Werner and Kai Havertz are both flops. They're not. They're both being played completely wrong. Kai Havertz plays in behind. He's not. If you're playing midfield 3, you don't play him in that group. He's not about. It's not where he plays.
He wants space.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to play in the hole. So if you don't play him there, you're not gonna get the best out of him.
I think the rumours of PSG and going back to work under Pochettino, would Poch get the best out of him again?
Because I don't think so, because of the players that they've got. So you're going to make sure that you play Ali. So the only way you're going to be able to get him in is you play him in behind. Now, you're not going to really want to have, because the thing is, they play with wide forwards rather than wingers. So what are you gonna do then? Are you gonna force them into playing like a 4-4-1-1? Who's gonna play through in the middle?
I think he's going to play forward and but he's
not good at that. We've already seen this from him.
He's not good under Mourinho, but for whatever was the difference, and I've not sat back and sort of tactically looked at where the spatial positioning is when they start their transitions. But he did do that in the first season under Pochettino quite well. That's where he came on. He was central midfield. Could he go back to that? Probably yes. Will he go to PSG? I don't think he will.
No,
PSG can afford him, but I cannot see.
It's not about affordability. It's not about affordability. It's about actual playing ability. I don't think he's any good to be playing for a major world-renowned club, whether it be in a farmers' league or not.
His attitude's just not there, and his work rate's not there.
No.
And that's where, for me, it's all gone wrong. He's just not working hard enough in himself. There's no real intensity or pride or passion in what he's doing. Yeah, we can all go, oh, you come off the pitch the other day and throw a strop, and yeah, I want to see him throw a strop because it means he cares. Yeah, but that needs to be translated into effort on a pitch.
Yeah, definitely. Not missing much on the NFL. Sky have messed up the feed. Fair enough. Thanks for letting me know that. I'll keep an eye on that. I might just watch it on Bet365. Actually, that's what I did yesterday. And Jose's a snake. He wants snakes to play for him. That way, either bring the squad together or destroy them from within. And Gareth Bale from the football club. Sorry, I don't know. I've sort of read that wrong. I don't know if I read that wrong or whatever. But are you saying that like Gareth Bale's just like a waste of time in the club, or is he one of the snakes that are involved in what's going on there? I don't think it's a snake.
I don't get it. I don't think he's a snake. I think he just wants a certain mentality at a club, and if you're not working hard or you're seen to not be putting in the desired amount of intensity that he wants, or not have the mental qualities that he wants, he sets about either finding a way to break you down, to force you down that road, or break you to the point where you up and leave. Luke Shaw, he's done it. Pogba, he did it with Ndombele. I mean, he'd have probably, I don't know the Chelsea players well enough, but he'd have done it at Chelsea too. It's just his style. That's what he does.
I don't like the idea that that Bale is there in the first place. If I'm 100% honest, look at for how many years Tottenham have meant to been able to go out there and sign some decent talent, but they're not been able to afford it and this, that, and the other. Yet you're going out spending 300 grand a week on his wages, and he's not even part of your club. Do you know what I mean? He's on loan, so that is a lot of money.
Thing, though, isn't it? It's
irrelevant.
Thing
what's he done to lift the spirit? What's he doing to help the kids out? What's he doing on the pitch? He's not doing anything. That's a lot of money. That is a waste of money as well.
I don't think he's doing. I mean, certainly not doing enough on the pitch for me for what he can do. And I know the Gareth Bale that we've got now is not the one that left. Injuries, age, he's not the same player. So let's just knock that one on the head. You're not going to get a repeat of that. Did he lift the club? I think he probably did. And actually, I think the club needed a lift. Right now, would I sign Gareth Bale at the end of that 12-month agreement, or would I pack his bags back to Madrid? I'd probably send him back.
I'll send him back.
That's where I'm at. I think we've had the lift. The squad's clearly coming together. Why would you not send him off? If he's not banging goals in, why would you not send him off?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not contributing or benefiting the team in any way, shape, or form. I don't think Dele Alli is suitable for Jose's defensive structure. Can't defend and doesn't do the pointless yards, not the hard yards. There's nothing hard in jogging. It's worth saying in football. I fully agree with you. I know what you're saying as well, though, because Mourinho wants every single player to be grafting at the same level of energy. That's why Højbjerg's come in and he looks the part, because he's always there to graft and do a bit anyway. And, and Sissoko, that's why Sissoko starts pretty much every game that is fit, because he does do the hard yards. He does do the graft, and he's not actually good at anything, but it's good at the same time. Do you know what I mean? You don't say, oh, what... In terms of footballing ability, it's like, I really like Moussa Sissoko because...
Nah. Moussa Sissoko is like... Who's the guy that we had under... I think it was Martin Yol. I'm sure he came from St Etienne and then he went back to French football. And he could never, ever, ever shoot. But as fans, we loved him because he just worked in the middle of the park. He worked really hard.
It can't be that good. You don't remember who it is.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
I can remember what he looks like. I can remember every time he got to the edge of the box, we went, shoot, praying that for once it wouldn't go into row Z.
He'd just square it.
But no, he'd shoot, but he'd blast it clean over the stadium roof. I can't remember his name, but he just reminds me of him. It's just all the work rate, and we like the work rate, but there's nothing at the end.
No end game, no end product.
Nah. Who was it? Oh, if anyone can remember what that player's name was, I can't think for the life. I think it was, but it was under Martin Yole era. Played central midfield. I can see him in that. Do you remember the chocolate coloured kit with the gold stripes we used to have when we first got into Europe?
Yeah,
it was that era.
Delhi would be suited in an attacking structure of Poch, Pep, Klopp. Jose's an arsehole. Or he wants a group of arseholes play around him, share a siege mentality. It's not actually. I can't really disagree with that, if I'm honest. In terms of the siege mentality bit, I think his confidence is so stricken now that he is not going to be able to find that sort of mentality, that sort of attacking route, that attacking prowess. He hasn't got that anymore, and I don't think there's any teams that play in a style that would suit him either.
I don't think he'd get into Liverpool or under a Klopp side, because Klopp sides work really hard.
That's another thing as well. Yeah, it's not in terms of like man for man ability; it's in terms of energy. And Thiago Alcantara is Mr. Creation, but Liverpool haven't had that over the last 3 or 4 years. They've worked on having such an industrious midfield, and most of their assists and stuff come from out wide from Robertson and Trent. Yep. That's where their creativity, if you want to call it that, comes from. So him coming into that midfield three, there isn't anyone that he would be able to go in place of to benefit them.
No,
he would be a hindrance.
The two wide inverted forwards, he won't work in that position.
No.
So
and
then you look at Firmino, and he's not Firmino.
He's not
Firmino is so good off the ball.
Yeah. Whereas Dele's not. Dele ain't. So, yeah.
No. And it's another reason, that whole thing, there was Poch linking with Christian Eriksen, wasn't there? And again, I can't see him going to PSG either.
Who?
Christian Eriksen.
I'll see him being more of a fit.
I just can't see it. He's not been a player for at least a year, maybe even a year and a half. You're back in Gareth Bale territory, whereby, all right, he's had a bit of football, but he's not been at the level that he was at. I can't see it.
Well, we've got 7 minutes plus stoppage. I don't know how much stoppage time they're going to add on. I can't see them going into too much depth with it. And here we go. Oh, that was your man again, Kenji. His shot was blocked this time.
The brakes on here.
Yeah, this is Spurs territory.
Oh
God!
Awful
that
ball.
That was so easily cut out then.
And that's not just because of the pitch. That is generally he didn't put enough weight on the pass.
No. Here comes Clark though. That's Clark. He was on loan at Leeds, weren't he? That is the same Clark, isn't it?
Oh, Bale. Oh dear.
Chris would be a great fit for PSG. I think he would. I think that league suits him down to a T, man. Really,
I don't think he'll go. Not because he don't want to go, but I just can't.
The only reason why he wouldn't go is because they wouldn't let him. They wouldn't let him leave.
Yeah. Is he Champions League Cup tied as well?
Yes. He could go play Europa League football, but he won't be able to play in the Champions League.
And again, if depending what PSG's aims are, but they want the Champions League.
He wanted to leave Spurs when he got that move, but Conte didn't actually want him. Still think he's got plenty to offer. when properly motivated. I think he'd get that at PSG, as he alludes to straight after. Yeah, yeah, it's difficult when a player don't want you, when the club don't want you. It's like again when a manager doesn't want, when a manager doesn't want you, but the club. No, it happens way too often. Look, Nicola Pepe at Arsenal. He wasn't the target. It wasn't what Arsenal wanted, but the club were like, Nicola Pepe, yeah, we need that. Oh, how much is it? 72 million.
Yeah, bargain.
Yeah, it's just freaking stupid stuff. The manager didn't want that. Oh, I know, Will.
Yeah, back really.
Yes, mate. Oh, Kenji will be replaying that shot that hit the crossbar in his sleep. Yes, he will. Poor bugger. Honestly. Will it change the Clopway being added to the Liverpool squad, the atmosphere, infectious energy to the That's a shout, but I think that only works now with Liverpool for players that are at like inferior clubs. And I know that Spurs are inferior, but I'm talking about like relegation fodder and looking for their best player. And it's something that actually Alex in the comments, me and him have had a number of conversations about it, and this is why Liverpool are so good at what they do. They get the best players from the lesser clubs that want to make the step up and want to prove themselves, so when they do get to Liverpool, they're buoyed up and ready. Whereas Dele has been knocking around the top, he's been playing Champions League football and stuff, and now he's regressing. So because of that, I don't think any manager will be able to come in and really give him a kick up the arse and get going. I think he'll hang around at Spurs for the next 3-4 years and then like wander off to Dubai or some stupidness like that, or go to MLS. That's what I can see with Dele Alli, and that's not a dig.
No, he's just lost that hunger, and I think that's the thing though. We look back at when he came up from MK Dons, he was hungry and actually had a proper chip on his block. That kind of cocky swagger on the football pitch kind of brought the creativity out of his game.
Yeah, because when he lost that cockiness and that sort of like dick, he's a bit of a dick, frankly. When he lost that, he wasn't the same player anymore.
No.
Liga or Bundesliga, I don't know what Bundesliga team he would be able to fit into. He wouldn't be able to fit. There's not one team in the top 6 in the Bundesliga that he would be able to go to and improve. As the league currently stands, maybe Union Berlin, but they've got Max Kruse, and I know Max Kruse is 32, but there is no club in that top 6 in the Bundesliga that he would be able to go to and improve. And that's not me like noshing off the Bundesliga. That's me being deadly serious.
He just hasn't got that hunger anymore, and I think that's the ultimate problem. Has he got the ability to go to any of those sides? Probably, yeah. Yeah.
It's got the
Dele Alli would do it,
but there's no one he wouldn't improve Leverkusen. He wouldn't improve Wolfsburg. He wouldn't improve Leipzig. He definitely wouldn't improve Dortmund or Bayern, and he wouldn't improve Gladbach. So he's
never fitted Leipzig. Leipzig play too fast.
Once again, energy. In fact, the whole Bundesliga, every team plays with max intensity. So that is not what he needs. If he's going to go somewhere and not necessarily improve them, but fit in for his lackadaisical approach to football, he should go to Italy or go to France or even Spain. I mean, Bundesliga will be a step down for him. It won't be a step down. It's not a step down. The Bundesliga is a bloody strong league. What I'm saying is that there's so much energy in the Bundesliga that we've just said this whole time, he doesn't put any effort in. If he can't put effort in for a Tottenham team, there's no way he's going to be able to put in effort for a Bundesliga team. I'll tell you what, he can turn up at Schalke.
Oh God!
Oh, Schalke won. Schalke won. It's the first time in a year. Next week was actually the year anniversary. Next week Sunday was the 17th of the 17th of January 2020 was the last time that Schalke won a game, a 2-0 win at home to Borussia Mönchengladbach, and they won yesterday 4-0 at home to Hoffenheim. Honestly, it's a man. Max Hopp scored a hat trick, but I'm still like, when I was checking the score, I was like, that's a typo, isn't it? And when I realized it weren't a typo, when it was 2-0, I was like, well, they ain't going to win it though, are they? Do you know what I mean? Like, when it was 3-0, I was like, well, I'm still not going to win it, are they? When it was 4-0, I was like, they could
get a draw. Maybe they get a draw.
Yeah, they could start believing.
So do you reckon they're going to make it 2 on the bounce, or we'll just go back to form?
Nah, they got a Frankfurt next week. Frankfurt are doing all right. So what's the point of adding 2 minutes to this, man? What is the point of adding 2 minutes?
Just blow it now. I mean, God, Jedson's doing bloody kick-ups in the middle of the park. And he's dreadful.
Just the banter that you could have had Bruno Fernandes and you turned it down. I love that, by the way.
Didn't want to pay it. Didn't want to pay the money. That's the only reason why we didn't do it. We did not want to pay the money.
This is Tottenham, to be fair.
Now, this is Daniel Levy. Right? How many times... you could just count them all for decades. Daniel Levy comes in and someone says to him, I just need this player. This player will make the difference for us. And Levy goes, how much for him? Okay. Do you just want to drop the price by £1 million? I know it's 51 million, but I want to get him for 50. And they go, nah, see you later, mate, bye. And we end up with like, what was it, Ryan Nelson or Louis Saha at 55 years of age coming in. Like, that's Daniel Levy all over.
Oh, is this going to be 6?
Square it. Oh, why didn't he square it?
That is Vinicius standing out now. This is what Vinicius is actually about.
Like, you've had 3 goals already. Just square the ball and give Jack Clark, I think it is, coming on the outside, a tap him. Just, honestly.
Oh dear. I'm glad that didn't go in anyway, because then I would have had to have done amendments and stuff. And
I know it would also meant that I would have been wrong when I said we'll get 1 goal in this half, and that's it.
Oh yeah! Look at
Come on, who put their fivers on that one?
Oh, look at you!
That's it out.
Blow it up.
There you go. Hey.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what, there's not really much time, much point of messing about. Let's get straight into the review show, the FA Cup 3rd round review show. Good evening and welcome to the FA Cup 3rd round review show. I'm Gav Mack and that is Stephen Buck. How are you, pal?
Oh, very well, mate. After a 5-0 win, I'm delighted. Although, look. I did actually come prepared. So I did come with 2 changes of clothes. Look.
What, is that a Marine shirt, just in case?
No. Just in case it all went absolutely Pete Tong, I'm going to get out my shirt before I get hammered.
Absolute prep. Well, thank you anybody and everybody for watching and tuning in. If you want to find out where you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Twitch at Top Football on all social media platforms. And did you know, if you put Top into Google, our name comes up first? Ooh, well, now you do. Well, it's the review show of the FA Cup 3rd round. Now, there are a number of games that happened this week, but we have decided to pick a select few, mainly covering the Premier League sides, and that's no disrespect to the lower league teams. It's just the fact that we are a Premier League and Bundesliga review show. So therefore, to be talking about how, what Wickham did in a 4-1 win to Preston would be a bit counterproductive. But no offence to them, and fair play to them, because they haven't done very well this season in particular. So it was really important for those. But the scores are going on the bottom of the screen right now. And if you are listening to us via one of many podcast providers, then I'll run through the scores with you very quickly. So Wickham did win 4-1 at home to Preston. Brentford 2, Middlesbrough 1, Huddersfield 2, Plymouth 3, Barnsley 2, Tranmere 0, Bristol City 2, Portsmouth 1, Cheltenham 2, Mansfield 1. That was a scoreline after extra time. Boreham Wood 0, Millwall 2. Luton 1, Reading 0, Norwich 2, Coventry 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Cardiff 0, Blackburn 0, Doncaster 1, Exeter 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Bournemouth 4, Oldham 1, and Stevenage 0, Swansea 2. But we are going to be talking about the games that have involved Premier League sides, and we've just done a watch along. And anyone who is still watching along with us, then thank you very much for still tuning in. And anyone who's new to the show, welcome to the show. And what we have just seen is Marine of the 74th tier in football 0, Tottenham Hotspur 5. Now, how did you see this game?
Honestly speaking, I didn't think we'd get 5 goals. It's not very Mourinho-like to have 5 goals and a clean sheet. First 20 minutes was pretty cagey. I think we've said it in the watch-along. Joe Hart absolutely got away with one. A wicked shot from Marine. Pretty much hit the crossbar absolutely square.
Yeah,
Joe Hart was way off his line. Put his hand up and then went, nah, that's going miles over. Took his hand down. It wasn't anywhere near as comfortable going over the bar as what it looked like. He got away with one big time.
Massively. A hat-trick from Vinicius Jr. That will help his confidence. I know that 2 of them were literally on the line and he's tapped them home. But his third goal was pretty nice. And then Lucas Moura with a free kick curling away from the goalkeeper, the young goalkeeper who's only 20 years old. And then Devine came off the bench and scored. I think it's his debut as well.
Not sure whether it was his debut. I think he might have had a couple of minutes, but certainly he looked all right. He did all right when coming on the pitch, got his goal, took it well. I think the Marine goalkeeper, despite the fact that he conceded 5 goals, he wasn't at fault for any of them. I think he actually played quite well, and I think Marine can go away with their heads held reasonably high. They did their job. It just got completely outclassed, really, and probably the last kind of 20 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, definitely. This is a tournament that Tottenham need to go out and try and win, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, you could get away with playing some more sort of like kids and fringe players against a team like Marine, but regardless of who you get in the next round, even if it is Crawley Town, I think you need to be thinking about putting a full-strength team out. A bit of form in the league will get you top 4. You're in the League Cup final. You need to be looking at a cup double, as far as I'm concerned. A cup double in the top 4. That is minimum requirement for me if I was a Tottenham fan.
I don't know. I think a double's probably pushing about that, but certainly they need to compete. They need top 4. They need to compete in both cups. They need to challenge in both of them. And then I think they need to come away with at least one of them. It's been a long time since Spurs have won anything. They haven't won. When was the last time when we won the League Cup? I think it was 2008. 2008. So it's a long, long time. FA Cup hasn't been won since 1991. We've won it 8 times, but 3 of those was under Bill Nicholson in the 60s. So this is a team that hasn't consistently won enough. And actually, if you really want to be a top side and you've got this mentality that you want to instill of being winners to take you to that next level, you've got to start winning trophies. If that's the League Cup, then you win the League Cup and you get, or at least push to get into the final of the FA Cup as well. You need to get that mentality changed.
Definitely. Who you'll be meeting in the final of the League Cup is Manchester City, and they were comfortable winners early on today, 3-0 at home to Birmingham City. The goals came from Bernardo Silva, he scored a brace, and Phil Foden on the score sheet as well. And he's having a wonderful time, Phil Foden, this season. He's getting a lot more game time over the last season or so. What I really appreciated by Man City is that they take every cup competition seriously, and they will put a full strength team out, or as close to full strength across the board. I mean, like, we know that they've got squad depth and things like that, but they didn't think, right, we're going to put a load of kids out today and hope for the best. They just went for it, didn't they?
Oh, definitely. But they've improved in their form. Man City at the start of the season, they looked a bit shaky. They didn't quite look like they were gelling or joining things together. Some of the transitions were not very good. Man City in the last few weeks are back. They are back to being Man City that we all recognise for the last few years, and certainly they look like a Pep Guardiola side. I'm expecting them to really push and go a long way in the competition.
Yeah, and what makes me laugh about Man City quite a bit as well is that, you know, people still say, oh yeah, you know, they're amongst the favourites of the league, but no one's really talking about them as passionately as they were before. And it's like, man, if they win their game in hand, they're only a couple of points off Man United. You know, it's like
the squad. They have the squad. You know, Liverpool have deserved to at least win one league in the last, 2-3 seasons.
Yes.
They came so close. It's agonising. But really, Man City are still the same side that we've seen. They've been consistent. They're always there or thereabouts. You cannot rule them out right now. And anyone that says Man City don't have a chance of winning the league and won't be up there in the top two, mate, they're gone. They've lost their head.
Yeah. I think the only thing that Man City are really missing out on is a striker. I just think that Aguero, I love Aguero, is arguably for me, he's the second best foreign import in the Premier League behind Thierry Henry. And he, to some people, is on the par, and some people even say that he's better than. I wouldn't go as far as that, but he is absolute boss, honestly. But he's 32. Injuries creep up on him, and they keep him out for a lot longer now than they ever have done before. Jesus is not good enough to lead the line for a club of Manchester City's stature. He would be like Iniaccio. If he was to leave, people will actually find out his true colours and realise that he is average at best.
Aguero, I think he's only got another 6 months on his contract, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
In the summer. I don't think they'll renew his contract. His service to the club has been fantastic. And his goals to game record speaks for itself. It's still one of the best out there. But, you're right. His injuries always have sort of taken time out of his seasons. And they're taking more and more time out of his seasons now. I think this is probably going to be the last season that we see from Sergio Aguero. But
will City be as defensive as they were against Chelsea and Man United? Well, I think it's actually a benefit seeing City do this. We're not used to seeing this City team. And then people would turn around and say, oh, you're being boring and anti-football. This isn't anti-football. This is playing to win. And, they've been keeping a lot more clean sheets because they're not slapping teams like 4-5, 6-0 anymore. They're winning games 1-0, 2-0. People are just thinking, oh, it's not right. But they're still creating chances. They're still in and around it. And this is where it comes to that striker situation. And I really like the comment that you put straight after as well about Harry Kane. I think 80 million might be a little bit too cheap, but
he wouldn't buy his left foot, let alone the right one as well.
Well, we are talking about COVID money as well now.
No,
we are talking about COVID money right now as well. So I don't. I think 100 million or slightly over would probably do it now.
I think you'd be back to. Certainly think, knowing Daniel Levy and knowing what it would cost to replace Harry Kane, I think you're looking at least 150 million pounds. There's no way that club would let Harry go for less than 150 million. No way.
Okay, Man City, they did draw a couple of weeks ago against West Brom, and West Brom had another draw, but it wasn't a beneficial draw this time, was it? No, it wasn't. No. Blackpool 2, West Brom 2, and Blackpool ended up winning the game 3-2 on aggregate. When a new manager comes in, there's normally a bit of a bounce, and it hasn't happened for Big Sam this time.
I think he's got his work massively cut out for him at West Brom. This could be the first club that takes away his unblemished record of being able to save teams. I mean, to refer to West Brom, they had a few changes to the side, and I think one of the goals came from what looked like a miscommunication between Ivanovic and the right back. Ivanovic was playing centre half. He clears the ball. He's probably 3/4 of the way up the defensive line. He starts to drop back slowly, but his right back's dropped back far quicker than what he has.
Yeah.
Ivanovic was almost the last person to come back into that central defensive line.
Yeah, that was for the
and that led to the goal.
That was for the Yates opener. And Ajayi, he did equalise, but then Gary Medine, can't believe he's still playing. He's been around since the dawn of time. And he thought, to be fair, he probably thought it was the match winner. Which put them 2-1 up, because Blackpool, that goal was just, it was way too adult to be knocking around in League One. Like, that goal was, if that was Barcelona who scored that goal, we'd all be talking about it for ages, going, oh wow, did you see that goal, this, that and the other. The move was beautiful. It was finished superbly. And you're right, West Brom, yes, they did have changes from that game, but they are still West Brom. And whether they're playing very well or not, they are still a Premier League side. And whether they stay in the Premier League or not is a different story. At the moment, they are a Premier League club, and they need to be stepping up, and they need to be using games like this as a confidence booster at least. Put your strong team out. Do something about it. Try and make something happen. And they didn't.
No, and they capitulated. And to be fair, I think it was Blackpool deserved the win. They deserved to go through.
I think they deserved to win it in normal time.
Yep.
I really do.
They got their justice. Justice was served. Blackpool went through. Well done.
Yes, indeed. And talk about Premier League levels and, the fact that West Brom might go down. One team that which looks set to go down but did pick up a victory was Sheffield United. And I'm really happy for them. I do feel a little bit sorry for Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers 2, Sheffield United 3. The game changed a couple of times as the match went on. But I am so I spelled Burke's name wrong. Let me edit that. Ollie Burke.
Ollie Burke. Oh,
there we go.
Where did you spell my name? I don't remember seeing my name anywhere.
Oh no, Burke, not Burke. So yes, Ollie Burke. He changed the game when he came on. I thought he was brilliant anyway. But
he brought a lot of energy, and he brought some pace to that front line. He could have had 3 goals. In the first 20 minutes of being on the pitch, he could have had a hat trick. But he's definitely different.
Yeah, his link-up play was just brilliant. Especially I think it's for the Bogle goal where he did that little dummy to get Bogle in. Thought that was really nice. But Bristol Rovers, they made a decent account of themselves as well. I thought they looked pretty tidy. I don't think they'll be overly disappointed with the result in particular. I think Sheffield United, they needed this more than anyone else.
They just need to start feeling what it's like to win games again, don't they? Doesn't matter whether or not it's league, cups or anything. They need to feel that winning factor. They've really not played well so far this year. I mean, when you think of, at one stage last year, they were sort of occupying the European slots in terms of the Premier League, and they've just not handled second season well at all.
I mean, if Bristol Rovers play that way, I think they'll be fine, because if you were to look at the League One table, they look like they're in a bit of a precarious position. That League One table is tighter than a gnat's arse, because they are currently in 18th place. Out of the 24 teams in there, they've played 18 games, got 22 points. If they win all their games in hand, they will be able to bounce straight up to 9th. From 18th, and if they do go into 9th, they are only 2 points shy off a playoff place. That is how tight things are in League One. But if they continue in that vein of form, if they play that way, I can't see any reason why they won't be able to make a decent push of things and move forwards. They play some nice football. It's nice to see. It's nice to see the teams that are in League One and things like that have the confidence to play such a such a free flowing style of football. It's really nice on the eye. Who else is in League One? Are they in League One? Yes, they're in League One. So let's stick with there. I'm trying to just like segue into things, if you notice. So it was League One versus Premier League opposition, and it was again this time it was really unlucky. And this was Burnley 1, MK Dons 1. Burnley ended up winning the game 4-3 on aggregate. On penalties, sorry.
On penalties.
But it wasn't all plain sailing, and I do feel a little bit sorry for MK Dons because Cameron Jerome scored the opener from a header, which was, that was on the half-hour mark, and it was a good game actually. It was quite end-to-end. It was really entertaining for a neutral to watch this.
He's been around a bit, Cameron Jerome, hasn't he?
Oh God, yeah, he's been around for a very long time.
He's got to be about 95 as well now.
Yeah, I mean, like, he still looks like he's quite young, but he's definitely aged somewhat over the years. But Vidra, literally last kick of the game. Now it ended up getting the manager sent off because I think that they were expecting the whistle to go a little bit earlier, and he wasn't overly happy about that with Russell Martin, so he got himself sent off. Richard Keogh, he almost got a red card as well. Did you see any of this?
Although VAR rescinded it, didn't he?
They did, and he's lucky because if this game was, I agree. Right, if this game was at MK Dons, there wouldn't be any VAR on this game, and he'd be walking. So the fact that he has been able to get away with it.
Well, no, I don't like saying he does get away with it because actually he wasn't in the wrong. You could see his arms get tangled up, and actually it wasn't worthy of a red card. I think it was the correct decision. But yeah, had it been at the Dons Stadium where they don't have VAR stuff installed, he'd have been off and there wouldn't have been anything coming back from it.
Do you think a free kick should have been awarded
for a foul on him?
For a foul on him, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm on the fence with that.
Really?
Yeah, because I just think that when two players are allowed to come together and there is allowed to be a bit of contact, I don't think he did anything overly illegally to make that happen.
To me, it kind of looked like he tried to move his arm into that position to get him sent off, and that's why I sort of went, okay, no, I'd pull that back. I'd see that as an infringement or as a foul. Yeah,
I was just thinking like if that doesn't touch his arm, he has got a decent run in on goal, innit? So that's why I'm just like, it's a difficult one. It's not an easy one. I don't think it is.
It's nice at least that VAR has actually come to the rescue, and we're sort of saying, well done VAR, thanks for being there on that particular day, rather than hounding it for some of the crazy sort of offside no goals being allowed because my left toe was slightly bigger than the other guy's ankle joint.
I was moaning about that, but at the end of the day, you can't.
It's not VAR's fault. That's the law.
It's hard. It's hard and fast for the laws of the game need adjusting. Richard Keogh used to play for Derby County, and Derby County were missing their whole first team, including Wayne Rooney and their whole coaching team because of COVID. Our good old pal, which has been getting involved all season with life, and it was a shock result for Derby County that took all the kids up to Chorley, and Chorley ended up winning the game 2-0, which is great to see a non-league team in the fourth round hat. I really do like that. But
they had a lot of chances as well. It wasn't like they just sneaked it over the line. They were great in chances.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there was a situation in the game though where it looked like a penalty was going to get awarded for Derby.
Yeah, and then it got called up, and it was put down as a foul against the Derby attacker.
Yeah,
because they reckon that the ball would ricochet off his boot, hit his hand as he was falling down.
What do you think of it? Do you think it was a pen?
When I first looked at it, I thought it was a pen.
I still think it's a pen. I still think it's a pen.
Boot. I don't get it.
Yeah, and I don't know whether they were trying to say, the keeper got a touch of the ball first. I don't think he did. I think he slipped it just past him, sort of thing. And like when the keeper has got a touch off the ball, it's because it's bounced off the striker,
off of him and onto his hand.
Yeah.
But then same player is up the other end of the pitch, and he gets booked for handballing it on the line.
Yeah, exactly. So for Hall's header, the ball had already crossed the line when I can't remember his name. I'll have to fish his name out. But as he's headed it,
Cresswell, I think it was.
The ball's already gone past the line. So if it hadn't, then straight up that would have been a penalty and a red card. So he could count himself a little bit lucky. It was Isaac Hutchinson. It was the skipper, wasn't it? So it was Cresswell, Cameron Cresswell. It was Isaac Hutchinson who went down for the penalty shout, and it was Cameron Cresswell who got the yellow card.
Oh, I thought it was the same. Was
it the same guy? Was it the same guy?
Oh, same guy.
Oh, okay. I thought he was wearing number 10, and I've got it down here as number 11. So I saw he was wearing number 10. Irrelevant. But yeah, he got a yellow card for his actions, and deservedly so. And he should count himself lucky that he was already behind the line, because if not, the team would have been potentially a goal down from a penalty and a man down, and that could have made the afternoon a very long one. But it didn't work out that way. However, Chorley are through to the fourth round. In fact, technically, they're in the fifth round draw as well, because tomorrow they're drawing the fourth and the fifth round. So we will see Chorley they're from at Preston Way. They've been
past the third round before, have they? I think it's the first time ever. No. So there's first time in the fourth round, first time in the fifth round, even though they might not get the fifth round. But
they actually won more games this season on their run than they have done collectively throughout their FA Cup history.
Wow,
which is mad. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Where are we going? So another team that was completely depleted by COVID was Aston Villa, and it was Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 4. At half time, it was 1-1. Who would have imagined that? Because Sadio Mane scored after 4 minutes. It's like, well, it's going to be 74-0, isn't it? But it wasn't. It was a very, very resolute and brave performance from the Villa kids.
It was. And do you know what? Some of them, I think they handled themselves really, really, really well. The Lewis Barry goal in particular, his movement off the ball to get in and the calmness that he showed in front of goal, absolutely superb for a kid. I mean, I thought 4-1 was a really harsh scoreline, really. I don't think it really reflects the amount of passion, the work rate, and all the effort that went into what was essentially just it was the under 18s and under 23s again. There was a single first teamer in it. Yeah. There was no first teamers. Like, anyone out there who hasn't seen this game and thinks, there's a few kids from the youth system that's come in to support the first team. No, there wasn't a single first teamer on the pitch. I think every single player essentially was making their first team debut, and they were all 18, 19, 17 years of age.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
So for the fact that they did what they did is brilliant. And it took Liverpool a long time to put the game to bed. They were on top for most of the game. We know this, but it took 3 goals in 5 minutes in the second half for it to happen. But I just love the fact that Louis Barry's goal, the way that he's sort of peeled off Reece Williams and then just opened his body on the edge of the box and slotted it past Kelleher. He looked like he was about 25, 26 and had been knobbing in goals for fun throughout his whole
17
career.
Years of age.
I know. And just his face when he scored. Yeah. But things like that, we sort of build the magic of the cup a little bit. And those boys, they lost the game, but they couldn't give 2 hoots.
No.
They are all on cloud 9. It's like, man, we did this, and it was 0-0. It was 1-1 at half time against Liverpool, Premier League champions, recent European champions. We did that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of pride for them to have, and they should be so happy about their achievements and what they've done.
I think they'll go on. I mean, Lewis Barry, from what we've seen of him, I think he'll go on, and he'll take another step forward and hopefully come eventually back through Villa's youth ranks and into their first team. If he carries on developing and doing some of the runs and the hard yards that he's done, that we've seen in this game, he'll continue that. But what a great advert for the FA Cup again. We talk about the non-league sides, we talk about the guys that, from the lower divisions that are knocking out the Premier League sides. But again, a bunch of kids from the under 18s putting in a great performance against the Premier League champions.
A very strong Liverpool team as well.
Yeah, it was not Liverpool's kids. This was a very, very, very strong. Mane, Salah, Wijnaldum, they were there. They were playing top players.
Yeah,
well done
definitely.
to all of them. It's brilliant.
Right, it's time to laugh at someone, isn't it? And we've got to laugh at Leeds, haven't we?
Yeah.
Crawley 3, Leeds 0. Now, I'm sure that all over the press they'll be saying, "Oh well, but Bielsa plays wonderful football, lovely brand of football, yada yada yada."
It was lovely to watch.
Blah, blah. Oh, this was brilliant to watch. This is arguably the shock of the round, and this is arguably one of the most embarrassing third round results, because
couldn't happen to a nicer bloke, could it?
Oh my god, we're not Crawley Town. Crawley Town, they've got Mark Wright on their leagues, on their books now, aren't they? From Towie,
from old school days. However, for me, it just couldn't happen to a nicer guy. You come into the league and he's off spying on teams and whatnot, and great.
Well, Crawley Town, they're knocking around in League Two. They're doing all right in the league. To be fair, they're sixth in the league at the moment. They're only 5 points off the top, so they'll be looking to get themselves into League One, into League One. Yeah, I've got the all foreign football.
Is that part of the Brexit agreement? Is it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they're trying to get themselves in there. It's not really far from Gatwick, is it, Crawley? So,
I'm sure EasyJet will do a cheap flight at the minute anyway. They'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly. Bielsa, Leeds United are safe as far as I'm concerned. They are going to be safe this season. They will not be going down. So teams like Leeds, teams like others that I'll be speaking about in a bit, they should be really putting their heart and soul into going on a run and winning the FA Cup, or at least getting into the latter stages, because you never know what's going to happen on a one-off game. And all the games in the league, in the FA Cup this season, are one-off games. They're all decided on the day. There's no replays anymore.
No, it's extra time, penalties, game settled.
Exactly. So, what are Leeds playing at?
No, I'm speechless, because, as I said, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. And I keep going back to that, because they should be going out and doing more than this. I mean, look, do I think Leeds have the ability to win the FA Cup? No. Should Leeds be through to the next round, given who they were playing against, the quality in their squad, where they currently ply their trade? Yes. So this is an upset. This was a mistake from Leeds' part, and they need to sort it out.
Yeah, definitely. Nick Cerula, he scored the opening goal, and he's had a roller coaster of a career so far. He's only a youngster, and he has just. He was in a car crash only a couple of years ago. He thought his whole career was going to be over, and the fact that he was able to come on and score the opening goal for Crawley Town. I don't know if you guys at home who's watching the show in particular come round and saw his post-match interview, but he started welling up because he knows how much he'd gone through, and I was like, wow, this is madness. And he was on the books at Spurs, wasn't he? But
I don't even know, was he?
Yeah. He was released from Tottenham in 2018.
Oh wow.
So yeah, he'll be hoping to have Spurs in the next round and try and put something to them as well. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy for them. And as you said on the screen there, Leeds have got a lot of championship defenders making championship mistakes. They didn't field their first 11 today, but then that's what was winding me up in terms of the level of respect for the FA Cup, and especially a team that are safe as far as I'm concerned.
And that's still no excuse.
Yeah, they will
pick championship defenders. It's still no excuse. That's
It's
still
still
two
Crawley
tiers
Town.
different. Sorry, they should have done better.
Yeah, must try harder. Hashtag. Who else should be putting more effort into the FA Cup? More effort into the FA Cup. Let's go with probably not Fulham, because that's a bit savage. Let's go with Palace, because Palace should be putting more effort into the FA Cup. They're an established Premier League team now. They've been in the Premier League for the longest time than they ever have done in their history. They lost 1-0 to Wolves. I mean, don't get me wrong. What a slap from
great goal from Adama Traore. Superb goal.
He's cut inside from the right hand side. He's took it out of his feet. He's used his wrong peg, left foot, and just laced it into the roof of the net from about 18, 19 yards out.
I think one of the goals of the round. I think
one of.
You can throw it in there along with the goal.
The goal in
Huddersfield.
Yeah, the Huddersfield goal. That was strong. And there's another goal which we'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, Wolves. This is a big result for Wolves.
Wasn't it Neto that was through in the final, in the second half as well? Probably should have scored then. I'm sure he was through with a chance, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. He tried to shoot and go for the far corner and sort of slid it wide.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think this is big for Wolves, and I think they should be looking at going forward. However, Palace, I'm disappointed in Crystal Palace. They got to the FA Cup semi-final. Got to the FA Cup final, in 2016. And Wolves, 2019, they got to a semi-final. But those two forays that deep into the competition should be giving them the drive to push forwards. And I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think Palace has got that though. Palace they're very mid-table. I don't even want to say.
Yeah. They are mid-table mediocrity.
Average. Yeah, very average.
So go win a cup.
I don't think they've got the drive to, because they seem to want to just stick with that average. The fear of, well, if we go for a cup and we pick up a couple of injuries, actually we're going to end up dropping down the league. I think there's too much of that going on with Palace. I don't think they're going to be a side that's really going to go for a cup. Wolves, I'm surprised. They can do it. They should be able to do it. They got the squad for it. They got some superb players. I mean, they've still got one of their best players that's still out injured at the minute. So,
yeah,
they're going to get stronger as the season progresses, and I'm sure they'll recruit in January too. They'll come and challenge.
Where am I going next? So yeah, when we talk about goals of the round, then this for me is the goal of the round. Now, Arsenal last week scored a beautiful goal against West Brom with Kieran Tierney running down the left-hand side, cutting in, putting his right peg through it. It's like mid-range. Just the whole move was lovely. And James Justin was like, "Oh my bear, this is how you do it." And oh my god, this is the tie of this is the goal of the round in the Stoke 0 Leicester 4 game. James Justin on just after the half-hour mark is hit this so sweetly. If you haven't seen it, please go and find it in about 20 minutes when the show's finished. He's just cut inside. He's running down the left-hand side. He's cut inside. On the plus side to him, he is right-footed anyway. But the way he just cut in, and he's on the apex of the box, and he's put his right peg around it, and it's gone right in the top bin. What a finish. What a goal. Yeah. Goal of the round, hands down. Michael Brighton also bagged.
I'd love to have had that goal.
Oh, anyone would have loved to have that goal.
What a strike.
Jose Perez also scored, and Harvey Barnes as well. Leicester, now they are going to have aspirations of top 4. They're also in the latter stages of the Europa League. Should they? I still think, however, this is another one. They should be going out and trying to win this tournament.
I think they're good enough that they can certainly go and try to. 2 seasons ago, they probably didn't have quite the quality and the depth of the squad that if once players starting to get tired or they pick up a couple of knocks, they were starting to struggle. But actually, they've got the depth now. Yuri Tillemans is starting to really come into his own, and he's adding a bit more kind of physicality to his game as well. So he's great. Jamie Vardy never seems to get any older. I mean, he's obviously getting older, but he's
but it's like evergreen, isn't he? It reminds me of Frank Gore in NFL. Like, apparently he's going to be going on and playing another season as a running back, and I'm just like, dude, like, I swear you were playing NFL, like, or equivalents of NFL back in World War One. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's been around for forever, and it just doesn't seem to age. It's just, yeah, and that's what Jamie Vardy's doing at the moment, and he's absolutely loving life.
They've got the players for it. They should be going to challenge again. Could they win the FA Cup? They could. They got the squad for it on a one-off game. Yes, they could. Do I think they'll win it? Probably not. But they can absolutely go and challenge, and maybe they'll even influence who eventually does go and win it, because they'll probably knock out some really big names.
Yeah. A couple more games to whiz through. We've got Palace 0, Fulham 2. Now, Fulham, this is a team that don't want any more. What did I say? Palace.
You said Palace. You got your obsession with Palace.
Got Palace on the brain.
Palace on the brain. This is QPR 0.
QPR 0, Fulham 2. There you go. It's even written in front of me as well, so it's not like I can't. I've winged the show for years. I actually can't read. But who can read is Bobby, and that is Bobby de Cordova-Reid. He scored along with Cabano in the latter stages of the first half of extra time, because this game was 0-0 after 90 minutes. And it's nice that Fulham have gone on and won the game, but this is a distraction for them now.
Yeah, it is. They need to try and survive the Premier League. Will they use the FA Cup though to try and pick up a bit of confidence and a bit of form so they can take that into a league? Maybe that's a springboard. Maybe that's the idea that they're trying to go and do. But they got to concentrate on trying to stay in the Premier League. Yeah, there's too much money in the Premier. As soon as you drop out of it, yes, you got some parachute payments, but it's not the same. The money isn't there. The sponsorship isn't there. It is not the same. You will lose a lot of money if you drop out.
QPR, they've only won once in the third round in 32 years, I believe.
Wow, that's a hell of a start.
Yeah, so that is it's not much of a shock, really, that they didn't go through.
You say that though, but QPR were a Premier League side for a while.
Yeah, and they come in at the third round and dip out straight away. Back in the day, like Andy Impey and
Les Ferdinand.
Yeah.
In his pomp.
I think Ray Wilkins, rest in peace. I'm
all out of QPR.
Yeah, I can't think of any else.
Daniel
Dicchio.
No.
Yeah, he's at QPR.
Was he?
Yeah, man. I've got him a sticker album and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, that's QPR done. That's why they haven't made it past the third round in that many years, because we can't even name half the teams in 30 years. We've come up with 4 players.
Exactly. Excuse the background, but I needed to switch because it's time for this.
What's Everton?
I haven't got the drop in that brand. So yeah, it's the weekly look at the what are Everton, and they did win, but what are they? Because yeah, exactly, they won 2-1 at home to Championship Rotherham. Cenk Tosun, he scored, which is shocking. We all know this. On a Sunday, equalised and took the game to extra time, but Doucouré, he was instrumental in the second half in particular, and throughout extra time he looked really good. It was James Rodriguez with a through ball which took the lead there. However, Everton should have won the game beforehand, and this is where VAR confuses everyone, because Cenk Tosun scored a perfectly good goal. There was a free kick from the left-hand side that was curled in towards the near post where Cenk Tosun is, and he has scored. Yet the goal was ruled out for offside because Yerry Mina was in an offside position at the far post. Why?
I don't get it. But I mean, you're an ex-football referee, and even you're struggling to understand it. I'm just a little old fan. I don't get it, mate. The rules, and we keep saying, we blame VAR, we blame VAR. This isn't VAR. This is the rules and the interpretation of the rules,
which have
don't
been
work with the
done.
technology.
Yeah, but like is not involved in the play.
Yeah, but beforehand, you had the ability for a referee and a linesman to use their best judgment.
Yeah, but even with VAR,
VAR takes that away.
Yeah, but even with VAR, I don't understand how VAR could come in and disallow the goal because it's not gone in the line of it's not in the line of the goalkeeper. He's not drawn a defender out of position. The ball is not actually involved in play because he's at the far post when this ball's whipped in. The ball gets whipped in at the near post and Cenk Tosun finishes it and he is onside. So for me, it's a farcical decision.
I just think it goes back to that whole thing. We have got rules that have been put into place for 100 years, and we need to review those rules. And actually, the whole way that we create these rules and adjust these rules have to change. It shouldn't just be the panel that is in place now coming up with the rules. It should be ex-players. It should be current players. It should be ex-referees, and it should be current referees. It should be people that are involved in the game and how the game is played, going through all these weird scenarios like we're seeing at the minute and going, this is how we're going to go and adjust it. This is how we're going to simplify it. Yes, I can understand that as a player. Yes, I can understand that as a referee. This is enforceable and will work. Right now, it's not. But we've got the wrong people in making up the rules.
Yeah. Can't really disagree with this one at all. Everton are coming in a bit like a Serie A team, very structured, very well organised, very dull without James and Alan, and it's very true. And this is like I don't know how I've seen you pop up quite a bit. Which is great, and I've seen you comment on our watch-alongs that we do. I'm not quite sure whether you get involved with our review shows, but for the last year and a half of review shows, we have had a section called What Are Everton, and in particular over the last 6 or 7 months we've actually made an actual proper section of What Are Everton, and it's for reasons like that, because you just don't know what Everton are going to show up. Everton won 4 games on the spin, and then they turn up at West Ham, who have been having a bit of a dip in form, and lose 1-0. This is classic Everton. This is what Everton do. So Everton, they could have gone on and won the game in normal time. They get pegged back. I'm expecting Everton to lose that game now because that's what Everton do. That's the way they are. So what are your current predictions for the Carabao Cup predictions? So that's Man United versus not Man United, Man City versus Spurs. We'll have a little run over that after these. We'll have a quick look at that if that's okay with you. So let's move away from Everton because we don't know what they are, and I'm going to talk about my boys for a second. And that is Arsenal. Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0. Emil Smith-Rowe and Aubameyang. Aubameyang scoring in normal play. What I'm really enjoying about Arsenal at the moment is that they've been scoring goals from open play, which is very nice.
I'm just going to nod and agree with you.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We said it during the watch along. The difference for me with Arsenal has been Emil Smith. Smith-Rowe
has been is someone that I've called out a couple of years ago when I started watching him in pre-season, playing with the first team and looking like he should be there rather than looking like a bunny in headlights. And I just thought that he had that maturity from when he was 17, 18. But you can't always pin your hopes on the 17, 18-year-old. You need to give him time to mature and stuff like that. He'd been out on loan. He went out to Germany for a piece. He come back. He went to Huddersfield for a piece. He's come back. He's worked hard. And, players who are playing in his position who are much more senior than him are not stepping up to the plate at Arsenal. Yeah. So he has got his chance. But one player who I've given a lot of rope to, but I think I've only defended him for so long because he's a Highland boy, is Joe Willock. I don't think he is stepped up. I don't think he has the caliber to be a Arsenal player in the future. And it hurts me to say it because there's been so many games where I've been like, oh, just get Joe Willock to play, get Joe Willock to play. It's all good looking good in the Europa League game, but you've got to also look good in the Premier League. And he just doesn't look right.
No, look, some players won't come through. I've not watched Joe Willock a lot, and you're going to see him far more than what I will because that's your club, it's your fan base. But what can you do? It's that you can't force it, and how much of it is him, and how much of it is the way Arteta wants to play.
Well, that's the thing, like because he's had game time under other managers. Yeah, he's still young though, isn't he? But I don't know. It's just when you see your kids coming through, you want them to do well. We alluded to this earlier on when we were doing the watch along, that when you are looking at because we mentioned about Tanganga, and for you more than I want them to do well because I just love watching young talent come through. As a football fan, obviously I want him to do terribly because he's at Tottenham. But if I'm being 100% honest. I was desperate to see Tanganga start that game today. Yes, it was against Marine. I want to see him start a hell of a lot more in the Premier League. I want him to be a guaranteed starter in every cup game because he has got the ability to step up. He's a brilliant defender. But we're not going to see the best of him because Mourinho don't want to play him. Whereas we've got it the other way around. Whereas Willock is getting more game time and he's looking worse and worse as the games go on. His touch don't look right. He looks. This is an Arsenal team that have now had 4 wins on the spin, so we've actually got a bit of confidence about us now. But he looks like we were at the end of that 7-8 game run without a win. That's how we was playing.
Left behind.
Yeah. He's not able to step up, and if he was to leave Arsenal, I can't see him going to a major club. I could see him
going to another Premier League club.
If he goes to another Premier League club, he will go to, at best, a Palace.
Wow.
At best.
Do you think he's another Saha that needs to be that big fish in a smaller pond in order to feel that confidence?
Yeah, but if he is going to be a big fish, he's going to be a big fish at a championship club. He's not going to be able to big fish. There is no club in the Premier League where he will be able to go in and improve or make them look better than they actually are. Not one. Not one. So yeah, I'm really, really disappointed in him. Glad to see Smith Rowe's card was put back to a yellow, was never a red. I agree. When I saw it in real time, I was like, yeah, I thought he won the ball originally when I first saw it in real time. I was like, right, okay, come on, let's push on. And then he's given a free kick. I'm like, oh yeah, his foot's a bit high. And then he pulls the red card out, and I was like, nah. Because even I don't think there was any contact whatsoever. So I think a yellow card does suffice. But if there was contact, there was no way that he would have fallen over in that way.
No, agreed.
And his
I
leg
think
would
that was the right decision. 100% right decision.
Hey, so VAR coming in good at times, but that's into the fourth round Arsenal. And then Manchester United, and we've also got Chelsea to talk about. Last 2 games, Chelsea they won 4-0 at home to Morecambe. The Chelsea fanboys are all going to be buzzing because Timo Werner and Kai Havertz scored. This is Morecambe.
Yeah,
Morecambe.
It's a big gap, and so I think probably Havertz and Werner probably cost more than the entire Morecambe squad.
Of course they did.
And probably a stadium and all.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone who lives on the same street as Morecambe's ground, times 50. So, Morecambe, they're doing all right. They're 7th in League Two. And we had a look at League Two earlier on when we looked at the Crawley situation of how tight it is in League Two. They just need to worry about getting promoted and doing their thing because they were never expected to go to Stamford Bridge and get a result. Simple as that. And the fact that they only reduced it to 4-0, and the fact that Chelsea put out a very, very strong team again. Yes, they had Kepa in goal, but it was still a strong team that they put out. they were never going to be in doubt, really. So that's it for Chelsea. There's no point of going into much detail on that. And then the last game, this was probably the worst game of the weekend. That was Man United. They picked up a 1-0 win to Watford. But I do love the fact that Scott McTominay was captain in the side in the first half until Maguire came on, and he scored the opening goal. And that goal meant everything to him because he just scored at home at Old Trafford with the captain's armband. Here's Mr. Man United.
Yep.
And I think he is a future captain in the making.
I'd agree with you. 100% I'd agree with you. I think he's a good, well, is he a good player? No, he is a good player. I am going to say.
Brilliant player.
He's a good player.
He's a bloody good player. That's what he is.
I think he needs better around him to really bring the best out of him and to take that next step. He needs better around him. That's not to say the likes of, you got Paul Pogba down at the minute, who technically is very good, but he's not got the work rate. And I think he needs someone that's got a bit more kind of desire, a bit more hunger, a bit more work around them so that he can bounce off him and take himself to the next level. But he's a good player.
Yeah, indeed. And the FA Cup draw will be tomorrow. If you're listening to this, it will be today because by the time it gets out, you normally listen to it on a Monday. So that's what will be happening with that. Just a couple of questions before we all run away and get on with the rest of our evenings. So I know, we both got kids and they both are desperate for our attention.
They are.
So,
you can hear them in the background going, come on,
come on, Daddy. You're like, piss off. The predictions: Man City or Tottenham. Heart and head.
Heart goes obviously Spurs.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to go for the fact that Mourinho's got a good record against Pep. He's got a decent record against City, and actually he's got a great record in terms of finals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Mourinho plays counter-attacking football, and Spurs win.
This is also Pep Guardiola's tournament as well. And
I know.
Mourinho and Pep have won the tournament for the last 7 years straight.
Yep.
So
I think Mourinho will find a way. Don't ask me how I can explain any of that because I can't. Player for player, with the exception probably of Son and Kane, City are better.
Mm-hmm.
I think Son and Kane could lift out of Spurs and go straight into that City lineup and make that team better. However, with the rest of the team, City are better, man for man across the park.
Mm.
But I just think there's something at the minute that's making me go, I can see Mourinho just finding another way. This is Mourinho at his best. When the chips are down and he's the alleged underdog and everyone's written him off, that brings the best out of Mourinho.
Mm.
And I think he'll get it. He'll get the job done. I don't think it'll be a big scoreline. It's not going to be like, 3-0, 3-1. It's going to be nothing like that. It's probably going to be a 1-0, maybe a 2-1. It's going to be close.
We will see. I think City defensively have improved so much this season in comparison to others. They instead of outscoring teams, they're outbraining them, so to speak. Yep. So I think that City will win, and I think once again, I think it will be tight. It will be like a 1-0 or a 2-0. I do think it will be to 0. Whoever wins the game, though. I don't see both teams scoring in that game. Lastly, just on that Joe Willock situation, Joe Willock needs a 3-year loan, 2 years at Eredivisie side, sort of level, learning how to work on his decision making, positional play, etc., and a year of Bundesliga to improve his technical ability at the ball. He is still young, so he's still got time. I don't think he's going to make it, even if he does that. I hate saying that about like the Haaland boys, but I just don't see it, unfortunately. But it is what it is. But that brings us to the end of the third round review by Gav Mack and Stephen Buck for Two Up Top Football. You can follow us on all social media platforms at Two Up Top Football on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. You can also listen to us as well via Spotify, Apple Music. We're not quite at the level where you can say, "Hey Alexa, play Two Up Top Football." Alexa, stop. We're not quite there yet, but one day we will be, and that will only be able to happen with your continued support. So thank you everybody who contributed to the review show that we've just done here, and also to the watch along that we did prior to this as well. But for myself and Stephen Buck, thank you and good night.